Hi, everybody. Welcome to FNS Wrestling Podcast, episode 296. We're back with a Star Wars figure to talk about another week of professional wrestling. We always talk about Dynamite. We talk about NXT. We might mention some main roster WWE stuff. We've got to add a review of AEW Revolution that we watched a week ago today. No, a week ago Sunday, I guess it was.
A week ago Sunday. So like 5 days ago, 6 days ago.
Yep, there's timestamps to anything you want to find. We'll talk about randomness for a little bit, so if you want to jump ahead to anything, you may. You were just telling me that at university you are avoiding, what's it called? Open house day, so you escaped.
Which is funny, because so that means it's been exactly, or not exactly, but like about a year since we first saw this campus.
Yeah, because we went on March break.
That was last year.
Exactly a year.
I shouldn't complain, but I live here now, so I will complain.
So you went to the cousin's bubble tea shop and...
They were not there, but that's fine. That's part of my evil plan where I actually get to pay for
once. And you got work done, and...
Which is why I bought like 2 drinks and a bagel.
Nice.
I think I ended up spending like maybe... I think I did the math. It was like maybe over $20, so...
I still haven't tried one of their bagels.
Suck it.
But
the bagels are so good. I got like a cheddar bagel, which is like the plain cream cheese, because I think they make both. Like, I think I saw them posting about their sourdough starter or whatever. Not even that, but like their starter or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I know they make the cream cheese too, but it's fire. So shout out to Kathy.
That's cool.
Doing good work.
If you're ever in Peterborough, go to Milk Tea.
If you're ever in Peterborough, Ontario, go to Milk and Tea downtown. It's something on George Street North. I forget.
Tell them the FNS Wrestling sent you, and they'll be confused by that probably.
No, they would know.
So you're missing out on family meals tomorrow, eh? So it's my mother's birthday coming up, and your mother's father's birthday.
That means it's a year since we went to that big 80th thing, right? Because that was last year, right?
The big what thing?
Remember her 80th?
Oh, 80th. I said big idiot thing. Yes.
No, that was last year, right?
Yes, with talking baby Seamus.
Baby Seamus.
So I think Uncle Dave and Aunt Jackie will be there. The grandparents of baby Seamus. So it's the Canadian side for lunch and the Korean side for dinner, I believe, is my fate.
I know
tomorrow.
Momo did tell me about dinner with the Asian side, but I said no because I wasn't sure if I'd be done my crap or not.
So we're going to some different Korean place that serves the raw crab that your mother and her family love so much. And lunch,
I don't know why I just thought of Deji.
Lunch is Red Lobster, which I don't like seafood, so it's a great day for me. It's a seafood restaurant.
Like, I don't think we've been to Red Lobster in like forever, but the last time I remember going to Red Lobster, I did like the popcorn shrimp.
Yeah, all the biscuits are delicious.
One of the things I actually don't mind, but like seafood, I'm not like, it's not even that I've tried most seafood I don't like. I just don't like, it weirds me out, so I don't want to try it.
I'll find something I like, but as long as everybody else is happy. So I think it's a whole whack of people. So
you should pull a Barry Goldberg and order something stupid.
I think aunts and uncles and cousins and nieces are going, so you are missing out.
Who's nieces?
Who's my niece? My niece.
You have a niece?
Don't I?
Are we talking about the Asian side or the white side again?
The white side.
Okay, because that was my confusion. For some reason, I jumped back to thinking we were talking about the Asian side. I was like,
no,
what?
No, the white side.
Okay, no, because that makes more sense. Hence my confusion.
So that's my day tomorrow. So we're getting this recorded on Friday night, and I don't know. We should probably get into it because
I haven't told you. I've been watching on Netflix.
What?
The Hollow.
Oh yeah, that was a good show.
It's still there. Yeah, I just started the second season.
Your brother should check.
I remember the first season really well. The second season not as much.
You should recommend it to your brother.
Yeah, because he's gonna listen.
He's starting to like creepy, scary stuff. So he just went to see Scream 7 or whatever it was.
Such a weird thing for him to do.
They just like going to the movies, right? So that was the only thing. That was a late show. But anyways, I say we get talking about wrestling because it's going to take a while. First thing we do every week, we talk about some of the week's wrestling news and rumors. So I don't know if you saw this first one I have. The WWE Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia could be in doubt. Did you see that?
I did see that.
Due to ongoing conflicts in the Middle East, sources at WWE headquarters in Stamford believe it's, quote, doubtful at best that Night of Champions will take place in Saudi Arabia, which then makes you wonder, like, they have a deal in place, and how's that going to be received? And
honestly, I feel like they could just treat it like they tend to treat contracts. They just extend the deal to like fulfill the quota.
I'm surprised they don't just none of the executives go because they care about themselves, and they still send the workers and everybody else because whatever.
Get another incident like Crown Jewel in 2019 when like the plane was stuck there or whatever.
Right, which they of course spun as something else. But anyway, so it's interesting that it looks like they may have to make alternate arrangements for that, which would be just an interesting process for people who bought tickets and made plans and the whole deal, right? So
Yeah.
we'll see what shakes out from that, but it doesn't seem like it's likely to happen over there anymore.
No, which I mean, that doesn't matter. I'm not going to watch it if it's in Saudi or if it's not in Saudi.
I'm more likely to check out some if it's not
if it's
in
not in Saudi, but like,
still
do
not.
I even really want to feel obliged to check it out? Not really.
No.
I'll talk about this one since I like just saw it in between our break. The Observer reports that Bronson Reed's injury was a deciding factor behind the shift for Mania to Orton versus Cody and McIntyre versus Fatu.
Okay, so now present me a world where that is true. Like, what were the plans when he was healthy then?
I don't how does that make sense at all? Without like any other context, which I have not seen. How does that make sense whatsoever? Like, what you think Bronson Reed would be involved in the Rollins stuff or like what?
Yeah, I don't know.
It hurts my brain unless I can find something more informative in like the time.
Well, because that his injury is affecting a storyline on a show that he's not a part of.
So both of those are SmackDown. Like, there can't be that. Someone has to either like be playing a rib or like have messed something up because that does not make sense.
They found themselves a scapegoat.
In a multi-man title match, or like, was he going to win the chamber?
Right, like maybe.
I think that because remember he got injured in the chamber qualifying match and then Jay got in it
because of it. Yes, so
and then Paul was in instead.
There you go. You worked it out.
I figured it out.
Maybe he was going to win chamber,
or like something in the chamber, right? Like because McIntyre was in there, or not McIntyre was in there, but like
right, he was going to do something based on the chamber.
I got there eventually.
WWE filed some new trademarks. It's just for names, which I enjoy because their names are fun.
What was the last one that you like? It was like Dorian Van Dukes.
They gave that to somebody apparently.
They did.
Von Dukes or whatever it was.
Yeah, I did see that.
So
I don't remember who it was, but
this time we've got ever creative. I find these Max Abrams.
That's just like, that's fine. It's just
Veronica Haven. Can't you already picture? It's like a dark character, not like most girls.
Yeah, or like she's either like she's a woman of color. I'm imagining.
Could be. Oh, and Anya Rune, if I'm saying that right. Rune is another one.
That I guarantee they're giving that to a black girl.
So yeah, we'll see who ends up coming out with those. Nothing as funny as what was it, Von Dukes, the one that I enjoyed so much. Yeah, I got a few more stories, but go ahead.
So we'll talk about a bit with the Revolution stuff, but Ospreay is finally back. He's reportedly planning to alter his in-ring style following his return from neck injury. Now, I don't know if anyone told him that because at Revolution it did not seem like that, and even on Dynamite, I felt like he was pretty much the same.
So,
selfishly, I hope he doesn't change because he's the best, but I do hope for his safety that he changes a bit.
So let's say he did change his style on Wednesday. I will grant him that point. I'm not even willing to do it yet, but let's just give him that for now.
Yeah.
It certainly didn't stop his opponent, letting his opponent from literally hitting every single move on his head and neck.
Yeah, I did like that.
I did too, and we'll talk about that. But like, it's one thing to change your style, and it's another thing to go, yep, just target my neck because it makes sense.
Also, I don't think he has yet. It's like he returns at Revolution, then like less than a minute later is already hitting a sky twister to the
floor.
He
barely missed hitting his head on the apron.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if anyone told him about this news report.
Yes.
But that's the report.
And even him dialed back a little bit will still be
Ospreay.
Yeah, will still be great. Also affected things on Dynamite, apparently a serious injury to Tony Storm, if it's
I've seen that
accurate. They're saying possibly out for the rest of 2026 without a specific sort of injury being said.
I heard it's possible it's injuries.
Right.
Sounds like an Omega or like when MJF was out for a while, that kind of situation.
I'm wondering if it happened in the post-match thing because we didn't really see the post-match. She took a shot, I think, from Shafir, and which we didn't really see, but she seemed to get through the match okay. Although, I mean...
I'm thinking it could be one of those things where it's like a cumulative injuries.
Could be.
Right? Like, I'm not sure what exactly.
Shafir did kick the crap out of her in that match, so I don't know if anything got a little too real or...
So I hope she makes a decent recovery, but I won't be missing her character while she's gone.
The timing's terrible, right? With Rousey coming in?
Yeah, the timing's pretty bad. But apparently there's plans in place for like an attacker storyline and everything, so that's fine.
Okay.
But again, I'm not really going to miss the character.
No, and maybe she can tweak it and come back.
Best wishes to her, obviously.
For
but
sure.
Again, I'm not.
Enjoy her in ring. Won't miss the character.
I'm not going to be upset about not seeing Timeless Tony Storm.
Even though we're in the minority for that, I'm sure, but we're used to it by now.
Speaking of time off, another person being out for a bit is going to be Hangman.
Yes.
But apparently it's a planned time off thing, kind of like Moxley's done that before, I think. Or I don't even know if Moxley's done it. Moxley's supposed to have done it before, but I feel like he never ended up actually doing it.
No.
Apparently the plans for Hangman to take time off after Revolution, which kind of makes sense. We'll talk about that.
Yes, he deserves it.
He absolutely deserves it. I think he's and it just kind of works out. I mean, we'll talk about the decision at Revolution when we get to it, but like given the decision that was made, it does make sense for him to take time off. I think it just kind of, and then we can come back with a fresh start for him, right?
I feel like Mox was always planning to take time off, and then main guys would get hurt, and then he'd come back, and then he's just
Moxley's the guy. Like I saw like some people speculating he would leave at the end of his contract, which is still not for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But like if he ever left, I don't think AEW is the same, so I really hope he never leaves.
Same.
I honestly can't see him going back to WWE in this state, though. If he had a problem with it in 2019, he's not going back now.
The only way is if he's at the end of his career and he can really cash in, right? Like if you're like, okay, I got one.
They do like the last Shield thing or something.
I got one contract left. I want to go in their Hall of Fame. I want the big money. Like that's
but honestly, I think at this rate, AEW is willing to throw him a lot of money too. I'm pretty sure he's making a lot of money. I swear I saw something about it.
Yeah, like, I'm sure he is.
I want to say I don't know if $6 million is ridiculous, but I swear I saw something like that.
Speaking of
he's got to be making great money there because he's so valuable, right?
Speaking of AEW and great money, did you hear that reports, and it's coming out of Post Wrestling, which is Brandon Thurston, who's super reliable for stuff like this, that Tony Khan tried to buy WWE in 2023.
I swear I remember hearing about this closer to when it happened.
And the company apparently is Base 10, which is linked to Khan. They offered, did you hear what they offered to pay?
Yes, but I forget.
$6.9 billion.
Oh, I knew it was
billion. Fun. And it eventually went for $8.5 billion. So they're only a couple billion away.
I would love to see the timeline where Tony Khan's running everything.
I don't know if that would be good either. Because he seems to spread himself too thin already, right?
I just think it'd be interesting to see how WWE would function under his umbrella. Not necessarily him like booking it all, but like, because obviously that's too much.
Mm-hmm.
But it would just be really interesting.
It would. I think a lot of things would change behind the scenes.
Yeah.
More than maybe even in front.
Well, and like, what then you could have good crossovers that everyone wants. And also, I would then be curious to see the overall style of WWE hopefully change.
Straight to an invasion angle, obviously. It's the only thing they know.
Right, but it's like better, hopefully.
Maybe. I only have one more, bud.
I know, like, I thought you were going to mention the Revolution byway because I heard it did really well.
I didn't see anything about it.
I don't remember the specific number, but I remember seeing, like, I think it was the best one since All In. Like, I heard it did really well. Anyways, another injury guy. Our boy Josh Alexander's rumored to be out with a knee injury.
Oh, I didn't see that.
On one of the collisions this weekend, they're doing the basketball weekend collision again, where like they split collision in 1 hour on each day, right?
Yeah.
So he was challenging for the trios titles of Clone Takeshita against Mystico and Jetsby, and apparently he was being helped to the back. So it's speculated he has a knee injury, so hopefully not.
And maybe that, and this will bring up something that grinds my gears a little this week. Maybe that explains why there was like C-listers in the main event on.
I also had that gripe, and I knew you were going to say that.
Right? So we'll get to that as well, but maybe that's part of the reason. Yeah.
I was like, can we not get like Clone or like Alexander or...
Imagine you paid. I would have been a little pissed if I paid to go see that show.
That's bad. It's just like RPG Vice.
I know.
I thought the match was pretty solid.
I would have been irritated.
That's fair.
Yeah.
The last one is I kind of talked to you about this on Monday that they made Oba versus Brock official for Mania. So if the reports last week are true and hold up, I hope Oba likes staring at the Vegas lights because
I can't see them doing it.
I think it's so stupid they can't do it, but I also think they're so stupid they might prove me wrong.
And right now there's the big narrative that I'm seeing of like, here's all the times Brock was really helpful. He told Oba to step on his chest after he powerbombed him. He told so-and-so to eliminate him from the Rumble. He told so-and-so to do this thing that benefited them and not him. To me, the Royal Rumble one was he asked to be eliminated when he knew the camera wasn't on him because they were doing the yeet-a-thon, right? And so then he requested to be thrown out right when he knew all the attention was going on Jey Uso yeeting. So I don't see that as a selfless
Yeah.
act in
I
any
don't see
way.
this as like Moxley in Australia, like trying to give the fans a better ending. Like I don't see
Yeah.
it like that. I don't believe I can't trust that Brock is that kind of guy.
And even
Brock
if he did,
himself be like likes you.
you can sort of see him tell Oba to put his foot on his chest. Awesome. That is not like a ringing endorsement of this man as like a developing the next. He's not Daniel
I
Bryan helping out the next
I
generation.
don't think Moxley or Danielson were listed in any lawsuits. So
True.
I could be wrong.
Last thing I have, and I only include it because I think it's kind of brave on her part, is Zeta Steele speaking openly about why she said
I did see a bit of that, yeah.
walked away from WWE. Directly from one of her quotes, she talked about she was losing herself, losing her love for wrestling, and that wrestling's always been an escape from reality for her, and that in WWE it started to not be fun, so she simply just left.
What?
That's courageous, man, because again, if you love the wrestling industry, you are now burning a bridge, unless you're undeniable, which I don't think she is, no offense to her. She may have just burned the bridge to what percent of the market in North America,
right?
like 90% of the market in North America, she just shut off to herself. So I appreciate her coming out and saying that, and I'm sure
Remember she was the one in Vanity Project, right?
Right. And
Yeah.
she I saw her a little bit when I was checking out Evolve. And she's probably speaking for a lot of people who aren't saying the same thing, right? Or don't leave, or want to leave, or
It's
even
also
don't.
hard to like reject that WWE pipeline, right?
Correct.
Like,
So good for her. I hope it works out. So far, she's not doing anything in AEW either, but
she's mostly ROH.
But maybe she's happier. So, anyways, that is all I have, sir.
Me too.
All right, so we need to get into a fairly in-depth. I took notes on everything. We'll see how long the notes are. A review of what I thought was an excellent pay-per-view, not to spoil anything. It was last weekend's AEW Revolution. So I took notes on this. I'll go through matches and stuff. Your job, 2 jobs. One, we'll do over-under accurate, where we talk about cage match ratings and Meltzer's ratings and where my ratings and yours kind of fall in line with that, as well as reviewing our picks, where we did our certainty scores, which I found this one a pretty hard one to pick, actually. So
this one I was annoyed because my game got thrown out right away.
Well, I had my 10-pointer get cooked pretty easy, even
I think
early
you got
on.
your 10 and 8 cooked, I think.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to do well, but we'll find out.
I don't think so. Hold on, I need to find something to write on. You can start.
So 0 Hour, we did watch it. I don't know what you remember specifically. I had
Costco guys, it sucked.
Lena Cross kind of impressed me. She
my Allen key.
did a little more than I thought she would. My note just says the cookie people were annoying, and that match had a couple spots that made people like Shane Taylor look silly. And then basically the Battle Royal bled into the main show.
Oh yeah, because Shane Taylor got speared by Big Justice.
Right. And then
Christian XO was getting rizzed up by the Rizzler.
Oh, I don't know who she was, but I do remember
She's a new one.
Okay. So yeah, the 0 Hour happened. I don't remember being overly impressed by anything. Then we get in.
It was fine. The Battle Royal was kind of fun, and most of that was on the pre-show.
So the main show, I will say, like, a lot of notable things happened on this pay-per-view, from really strong matches to arrivals to returns, right? There was lots of things to talk about in this. So the intro and the pyro happened while it's kind of interesting, right? Because they're finishing the Battle Royal.
This, the first time they bled the pre-show, like, yeah, it was their pyro during the match, right?
Mm-hmm. So the Battle Royal's still going on. I can't remember what it was down to. It was not too many people left in it.
I'm pretty sure Ciampa, Clone, Ricochet, Perry were there at least.
Juice Robinson.
There's Juice. Yeah.
So I have Juice eliminates Ciampa, Jack Perry eliminates Clone, and the final 2 are Ricochet and Perry, as pretty much everybody would have guessed, I think. No surprise there. And then remember, Perry did a spot where he was like so close to being out.
That was, yeah.
Like as close as you can get.
I thought that was really great. Like, I guess if you want to call it near fall for like a Battle Royal, right?
Yes. And then he hits a poison run into Ricochet on the apron. Ricochet falls to the floor.
Really cool elimination. I like that. Again,
it was good.
They do eliminations a little different.
So Perry is the new national champion, because I looked it up. I know that's the title. I thought the last half of this match was pretty entertaining. I didn't give it a grade.
Battle Royal. It was fine. Like, I thought for a Battle Royal, pretty good.
And really only 2 people possibly going to win it, I would suggest, right? I guess you could say you could include Ciampa in there maybe. So
Ciampa would be like my
3?
third
Yeah.
pick, probably.
So yeah, I thought it was a fun match, but nothing that I rated because it was only half on the main show. But getting into the real opener, I think, of the main card, and that is the tag team championship match between the champions FTR defending against the babyface Young Bucks. So these guys have faced each other many times. This is the dynamic we prefer, where FTR are the heels and Young Bucks are the baby faces. And we thought that the entrance kind of telegraphed the match, right? Because the Bucks entered
Bucks came out with like I think it was both of their kids, and I think their brother's kids.
whole whack of children, anyways, dressed up as
matching. It was kind of cool.
It was. And Nigel, early on, I made note of a comment. He said that Stokely was pissed off because he was denied competing in the Paralympics. Which was funny. So I do have
line sometimes.
I do have notes. They're decent, so I'll go through them. The Bucks are in control early, start out fast, fly around as they do. We get a spike pile driver on the apron to Matt, kind of shifts the momentum to FTR. Nick is already bloody. I think he emerged from like the announce table.
He was bloody really, like he was bleeding a lot and really early. Like I was surprised.
So commentary blamed the announce desk. So I think he ran into that early on. FTR slow things down and are isolating the bloody Nick at this point. Then suddenly Dax is bloody too.
Yeah, and this match was way bloodier than I thought it was going to be.
So his came out of kind of nowhere. Like Nick disappeared and then came back bloody like he bladed. I was wondering if Dax got just kicked in the head by one of those super kicks because he was just
I will say this. I think the blood ended up helping this match a lot.
I do too.
It just caught me off guard for sure.
Matt back for a hot tag while selling his shoulder. The Buck children then are at ringside hyping up Matt Buck or Matt, whatever, Jackson. We get a beer thrown in Dax. A beer is thrown in Dax's face as Cash, quote unquote, sends it, which I think is what you said when he does his dive, right?
He does really send it.
He does. Dax tunes up the band as the crowd boos. We get double sharpshooters to FTR instead. Pace starts to pick up. We get a Cash brainbuster to Nick on the floor. Dax with that slingshot powerbomb he does to Matt in the ring.
Really nice.
Cash gets a belt, but he's run right out of the ring before he can use it. We get a double back suplex off the apron to the floor that looked pretty nasty. Nick is slipping in blood on the floor, and before a million super kicks to FTR in the ring for a great crowd reaction. I think FTR were like on their knees for a whole bunch of them and just getting kicked in the face repeatedly. Stoke does get out of his wheelchair as we predicted, leads to a smash contraption for a great near fall, then a spike pile driver. We figured it's over. Nope. Nick's boot is on the ropes. A million kicks to Nick's face, an FTR trigger now. Nick kicks out at one and is just defiant about it. Shatter machine to Dax. BTE trigger for a really near fall here. Nick dives onto Stoke in the wheelchair. We get a Meltzer driver for another crazy near fall. Crowd's going nuts at this point. Spike pile driver to Matt. Super smash contraption to Matt. And FTR does pick up the win. They retain their titles in only 18-minute match. That was
only 18 is
pretty crazy. Over under accurate?
Talk about the post match before we do that, or are we gonna do that after?
I'll talk about the post match after.
Okay. Sorry. Speak again.
I don't know. Do I normally give my thoughts on it? I guess.
Do we? No, you want me a cage match first? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what you,
go for it.
Cage match is 9.17.
Wow. Okay. I'm close.
Meltzer was 5.5.
So I'm under Meltzer. I went 4.5 stars. I
agree. I thought it started out really slow and I was a little bit on my phone, I'm not gonna lie. And then I thought like the second half, it really picked up and I thought the drama was really there with like the blood. And Nick Jackson put in a great like valiant babyface performance, especially I thought there's the one shot like that a photographer took of him yelling with like all the blood and everything. It looks great. Like the near falls I was really biting on. I thought that was the mark of a good match. Like the near falls at the end of this match were really great, like really close. There were a lot of times where I was like surprised it wasn't over. It felt longer than it was, and I mean that in a good way.
I do too. Yeah, I agree.
But like so many big moves towards the end, and obviously people are gonna be annoyed, but like FTR took like a bajillion super kicks, and
there's fun.
A bunch of finishers. But like I just like it was so dramatic towards the end, and like it just ended up being a really good time. I thought it was a great opener to get the crowd super into things. I mean, obviously a bit of a down for the Bucks not winning the titles, but I'd think that'll be fine in the long run. Right, like
I thought it was terrific. Similar to you, I said the final 2/3 of this were fantastic, right?
It really got there in the end, right?
I also thought the blood helped. I thought it built really beautifully, like excellent near falls near the end. And it's two of the best tag teams maybe of all time. Yeah. And it's in the the format we like it best with
Yeah.
FTR as the heels, and they're probably even capable of a better match. And I'm
I
giving
think
this
so, and for me, it's like we kind of talked about this in the build. Like, this is not a fresh match, right? But you put
no.
these two teams in, it's exciting. But honestly, I thought this match was so good, like that I would like to see another match between them sooner or later. I think obviously that might be on hold with what
Mhm.
happens after the match, and then obviously this week on Dynamite. But it did make me want to see another match between them because the last time we got this before this, the Bucks were the heels, right? And again, I
Yeah.
think you kind of made that point that like, yeah, with the FTR as heels, the Bucks be like that's just the right way to do it. I think, right?
Yep. I gave it 4.5 stars. I thought it was
Yeah, I agree.
fantastic.
Really great opener, really strong.
After the match, Copeland and Christian return as we predicted. We just
Yeah.
didn't think it was going to be feuding over the belts, which
Yeah,
apparently it will be.
which is fine.
I'm fine with them coming back and feuding with FTR. It had to happen, right? They took out
I'm
Beth
even
Phoenix.
fine with the idea, and I'll talk about the Dynamite. I'm kind of okay with the idea of a nostalgia run
Yeah,
for that.
maybe.
I'm not saying I'm like clamoring for it, but I'm like, if that's what we're doing, then like, and you have them maybe like either lose the titles or like, I could see them holding the titles till the retirement in like Toronto,
Yeah,
because that's the rumor, right? So
yeah,
like, I'm kind of up for that, you know?
yeah. I'm interested to see where it goes. I just
Yeah,
want them to keep Christian being a jerk, but I don't know if that's going to happen.
it seemed like they did on
Yeah, a
Dynamite a
little
bit.
bit, yeah.
Like they're trying to find their balance, right?
Yeah.
But
Then
I
we
thought their
get
return was nice and the crowd liked it.
a Marina Shafir, Tony Storm kind of recap package. Basically, Storm saying no one can do what she can
Early
do.
bathroom break right here.
She's going to treat her like an animal. Storm uses some various circus imagery, and then we get to the match. So it's Shafir, Tony Storm,
And
and
everyone apart from ringside is the thing here.
I made a note that Shafir does a little dance with the other Death Riders before heading to the ring. Jack says
We've
it's
done this
weird.
before. I just thought it was weird.
You did.
They're like moving in a circle. It was just weird.
Shafir takes Storm down really early. Shafir dominates for a stretch with a very deliberate pace. Stiff kicks to Storm's back and a back suplex onto the floor. Then some more kicks to the chest, standing and seated. Shafir kicks the table and Storm bites Shafir's bare feet and hits a DDT, and both are down. Storm has marks all over her upper body from Shafir's strikes and kicks. We get 3 Germans from Storm as the crowd rallies for her. Hip attack, really nice. Then a second one and a third, and Shafir is asking for it. And then Storm 0 for a near fall. Mother's Milk gets applied a bit later. Storm goes to the eyes and then bites Shafir's chest. Headbutt, inside cradle, and Tony Storm wins. How long was this match?
This one was only like just under 10.
So the big thing on this one, Storm is kind of writhing on the ramp after the match, and Ronda Rousey appears in the ring as Jack yells, "No!"
That was like my immediate reaction.
Yes.
I saw her there. I was like, no, don't do this to me.
Storm
I think I kept saying like, why are you doing this to me?
Storm smiles, goes back to the ring, and officials separate the two. And then Shafir apparently sucker punches Storm, which again, I didn't really see it. We were kind of told it happened.
I don't know.
And Shafir and Rousey leave together. Okay, thoughts on the match first.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I wish we had the bingo card finish because it was fine.
Yeah.
But the main problem with this is that I didn't care at all. Like I didn't want to see this match. So even if it was like pretty solid, I didn't care.
It actually kind of over delivered for me because Tony Storm just let Marina Shafir kick the crap out of her.
I did like that. Like Shafir comes out of this looking pretty good, but the only problem is then it's like it was that predictable loss that she took, right? And so
yes,
my thing is now I don't know what the deal with Storm's injuries were, but if Storm, like if they knew Storm was going to be out after this and they ran the attack angle and Dynamite on purpose, then they should have had Shafir win, right?
I didn't like the finish to this very much. I'm done with the inside cradle winning matches,
especially with Storm. Like I don't really like inside cradle's fine, but Storm's like use it a lot, right? Because you know the big package.
Yes, that's right.
Like, so I think she's really done it to death because like Cassidy made the roll up win an art form, you know what I mean? And I feel like Storm's just kind of like beating the dead horse with it.
Mm-hmm.
But like I have no problem with this match. It was just like I just wasn't into it. It kind of reminds me of I don't know if you'll remember this, but I think it was the first World's End in 2023. It was the Andrade Miro match, and like that wasn't a bad match. I just didn't care at all.
Yeah.
Right. Like
I thought the pace was a nice contrast to the opener because it was crazy by the end.
In a way that I think is fine, right?
I didn't love the build to the match, and the result I didn't think was in doubt because we picked
the
it.
build was like I feel like we missed part of it. I feel like some of it was on Collision. It felt like this match just got announced, and I was just like, oh okay.
Oh, and if I'm correct, neither of us picked the Bucks, right?
No, neither of us.
So how many points do we?
I have the final tally here because I did the math while you were talking about the first match, but The Storm Shafir, sorry, where am I? There is. You got 9 off this, and I got 8.
Sweet.
Because we both knew it was gonna be Storm.
So over under accurate on this?
So Cage Match gave it a 6.18.
I'm actually over that. What was Meltzer?
4 stars.
That's crazy. I'm under. I went 3.5. I kind of enjoyed it as a little like. How long? How long was it?
It's like average. Again, under 10 minutes.
Yeah. So I just thought it was it. Shafir looked a bit like a beast. Storm let her kick the hell out of her.
It's like a better Shafir match, but that doesn't say much.
Yeah, I thought it was. I had no problem with it.
As for the post match, absolutely not. No, like I don't want this.
It's that mainstream appeal, right?
There's no, but okay. So here's the thing too. I did get excited for a second because Ronda Rousey appears, right, and then Storm's like sitting up on the ramp. I'm like, oh my god, is Shayna Baszler gonna come from behind and choke her? Nope. Like the only reason I got even remotely excited during this is because I thought there was a chance we were gonna get All Elite Baszler, and they would do like maybe like we have a female Death Riders offshoot, and it's the UFC Horsewomen, right? And I'm like, okay, sure. Like at the very least, you could have Shafir and Baszler as a tag team, and honestly, Baszler in a tag team in AEW, I would trust more than like because in WWE they teamed her with like Nia Jax and Natalia at times. Like that's a joke. But I got excited when I thought it was gonna be Baszler, and then once I realized there was no Baszler, I was back to being upset because I don't like Rousey. She was always overrated to me. I thought like towards the end of her initial WWE run, she did improve and she was like solid, right? Especially more someone like Lynch or Charlotte or Banks could carry her to a good match, right? But I thought always people overrated how good she was because when she was like on main roster, that's when Baszler was into her prime NXT run, right?
Yeah.
And we always said like Baszler was the better of the two. It's just Ronda has the mainstream appeal.
That's right.
And I'll always stand by that. But then like Ronda's second main roster run, like from like 2022, it might have just been 2022, I think. 22 to 2023. That run sucked when she was like, remember she had the matches with Liv Morgan and like it ended with that crappy MMA match with Baszler, which they did nothing with Baszler. After that, like it just sucked. And then like she said so many things, so many negative things about the pro wrestling.
I don't think she likes wrestling.
Like, she doesn't. So that's another reason why, like, even if she was good and I was excited, like, why is she here?
She has a fight coming up with Gina Carano,
no,
I think.
I think that just happened.
Did it already happen?
I'm pretty sure.
I thought maybe she was just getting herself back in the sort of spotlight.
You could be right, but I'm pretty sure it happened.
We're both huge MMA fans. Can you tell?
Yeah. Either way, I don't like her being here. I understand like she could bring some mainstream appeal, but to me, I don't think it's worth it.
It doesn't move the needle for us, that's for sure, but it gets them some mainstream recognition they all so much desire.
I would hope it does, because otherwise this is a stupid decision.
Next match we get is for the Continental Championship, correct? Look at me go. It is Jon Moxley defending against Takeshita, and I think we both took Takeshita in this one, didn't we?
We did both take Takeshita, so that's no points on the board.
So strikes have little effect early. They both get nose to nose. It's kind of like no one can get the upper hand on the other here. The crowd are behind Takeshita, and they're counting his corner punches. Jack is annoyed that commentary is talking about Rousey during this match. Little note I made.
That's not what we need to be talking about.
More strikes to show how evenly matched they are. Takeshita takes control on the floor with a boot against the barricade. Mox with a dive to take out Takeshita. Boot to Takeshita in a chair. Moxley bites Takeshita's face. Takeshita tweaks his ankle, and Mox immediately goes after it. Single leg crab, then some modified version before Takeshita gets to the ropes. Pace picks up for a second, but Moxley kills the energy by applying a figure four. And I wrote here, my notes are, he certainly feels like he's taken on the heel role, right? Grounding this.
Which I think makes sense out of the two, right? I feel like if they're both kind of leaning face, which maybe Moxley less so after what happens, obviously. But Takeshi's like the one clearly we're trying to like turn full baby face, right? So I think it makes all the sense in the world. And while you're talking about the ankle thing again, it kind of made me think it's an interesting reversal of their Continental Classic match last year, because that's when Moxley was still selling the ankle through the tournament.
O'Reilly.
He had the O'Reilly match before in C2, right? So I just thought like it just kind of occurred to me that's an interesting kind of role reversal from their last match.
I also think Moxley's such a pro that as soon as he realizes the crowd is more behind Takeshita, he's just going to go fine.
I would imagine it's probably the loose plan to do that anyways, but he's definitely aware enough and adept enough to like just do that anyways.
Give the fans what they want, right?
Well, we kind of talked about the Australia thing already, right?
Yes. Takeshita hits a bastard driver, then a wheelbarrow German. Moxley with a quick shotgun drop kick. Takeshita quick running knee. Both are down. Moxley sleeper countered into a blue thunder bomb. Takeshita stomped on the apron. Moxley flips off the crowd. Takeshita's bleeding now, almost counted out. He runs into the ring right into a pile driver for a 2 count. Boots to the face as Takeshita fires up. We get a bit of a hockey fight. A gotch pile driver to Takeshita for 2, and then a Moxley crossface. Mox clotheslines, but Takeshita is defiant, takes Mox out with a huge clothesline of his own. Takeshita is up top, biting Moxley's head now. We get an avalanche exploder, a power drive knee for a nice near fall. Moxley cutter, but Takeshita gets up, elbow strike, but sudden paradigm shift. Rapid suplex exchange, all different variations. Moxley
I think it was Takeshita Exploder and Mox would come back with like a backdrop suplex, and they were trading those back and forth for a second.
It looked pretty cool.
I really liked it. It was really fast paced. I could see people like getting annoyed, like, oh, repeated suplex getting dropped in your head for like no selling, but it was that kind of adrenaline strong style type stuff, right? I really liked it. I thought like it just intensified the energy and the drama of the match, so I really liked it.
Me
I
too.
thought it just picked things up.
Moxley ends the sequence with one of his huge lariats, but Takeshita kicks out at 1 as things are really getting fired up here. Takeshita flips out of a Death Rider, forearm strike, raging fire, but Moxley kicks out, and commentary let us know this is the first time anyone's kicked out of the raging fire.
Sure is accurate. I don't know for sure.
Sounds like it. Takeshita's leg gives out as he goes for a running knee, and then we get a huge Death Rider, but Takeshita kicks out of that as well.
Which has happened before, like people kicked out of it, but still surprising. Like I thought that was a really great near fall.
Then an avalanche Death Rider, and Takeshita still kicks out.
That was a great near fall.
The crowd is absolutely on fire at this point. Moxley gets a chokehold on. Takeshita gives him the finger, and then Takeshita just passes out, and Moxley
seen it like trapping his arms and like he had nowhere to go.
Right? Oh yeah, he gives him the finger and he grabs that arm and traps it.
Yeah.
Right. So Moxley wins after 24 minutes. He extends his hand to shake. Takeshita walks away at first, but then comes back and does shake hands, which you'd best believe Okada's going to mention on Dynamite this week.
Yes.
So again, we'll talk about match at this point first.
Yeah.
I mean, fantastic.
I love this match. This is a great match.
It again started out a little bit slowly because they're evenly matched and they're both big dudes.
So well, I think I like this a little better than the opener. Maybe
it's really close for me. Really close.
I thought it was great. I'm glad they got the extra time. Like they didn't go that much over the 20-minute time limit, which I wish they would have a bit. But like for the time given, which is like about 23.5 minutes, I thought excellent match.
Me too. They beat the hell out of each other, and like the opening tag match, there were amazing near falls down the stretch of this.
Yeah, super hard hitting. Decent story told with Takeshi's ankle, which kind of played into some of the near falls, which I thought was smart. Moxley wisely kind of shifting into the heel role for this match, I thought, which also, and like Moxley shifting to the heel role for this match kind of helps out the post match stuff a bit, right?
It does.
But yeah, like, and the near falls towards the end of this were great. Like, I think Moxley kicking out the Raging Fire was cool, and I got no problem with that. Takeshi had a lot of big moves, and I think Takeshi looks like $1 million kicking out the Death Rider and then the Super Death Rider. Like Moxley basically had to throw. I think I mentioned this in our best of shortlist already. Like Moxley basically had to throw everything at Takeshita, and it wasn't enough, right? Nope. And so he had to like put him in a sleeper and cut off any escape point, right? Like Moxley exhausted all his options and just had to wear Takeshita out. I'm a little disappointed Takeshita didn't win because I really think it was his time, but like this is the third year in a row he's had a killer match at Revolution against one of AEW's top guys, right? Because 2024 we had the match with Ospreay. He faced Omega last year, Moxley this year. Like, so it's another banger for him. And like result aside, which I don't think Moxley winning is a bad choice. I just wish Takeshita would have won, obviously, which we both picked.
It felt like a really important match, and I imagine...
Yeah, it felt big time, and I thought it was just so entertaining. Like you said, the crowd was super into it.
And Okada's probably going to notice that Takeshita didn't win without the help of the family, right? Like, he couldn't kind of do it on his own.
Yeah.
And then, after the match, lights go out. A weird vignette with Ospreay, right? Like in a tank with...
It's like in like it was like an emergency room. He's in a tank. I saw people saying it's like Weapon X inspired, which I think kind of makes sense. So like Wolverine.
It gave me Star Wars vibes with was it Luke in the tank in the
I see what you're
A
saying.
New Hope? Because I had that droid.
That would have been Empire. How dare you?
I had that droid that is there
the
with
medical
him.
droid. I know what you're talking about.
So Ospreay is there. He runs down, jumps Moxley right away, takes out the rest.
Like, blasts him with a hidden blade immediately.
And then Moxley bails out through the crowd as Ospreay stands tall.
Ospreay, like the Death Riders beat him down. Ospreay kicks off. Like he fights them off for a second, absolutely smashes Garcia with a hidden blade, and then does like the handspring double Pele kick to Yuta and Pac, and then he does a sky twister to the floor, barely clips the apron.
Such a conservative
then,
style he's working now.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like the crowd is super hyped, and like we've been saying he's gonna return to the show, right? So
Yeah.
we were 2 for 3 on the return tonight. Still no Switchblade, of course, because I can't have good things. But I thought the moment was great, and I thought they did it really well. I thought the vignette was cool. I think like him coming back to attack the Death Riders makes perfect sense. It's just the only thing that's weird is like so now Moxley's gonna be heel again. The Death Riders are heel. Like the Death Riders confuse me so much these days.
And I think they were smart to sort of let us know that Ospreay was coming back, right? There's been vignettes for
I
few
did like
weeks
building
now.
the hype because then there was like like I said, there's like I was expecting him to come back on the show, so I was excited for it, and I still think it would have been cool as like a complete surprise. But I think building the hype, it's like another reason to potentially buy the show.
I
Right?
think that's what I was going to say. I think certain names are so huge that you have to. Same with when CM Punk came. Like, say
I was about to say that.
He's a big enough star
Punk,
that you have to let people know he's coming without letting them know, sort of thing.
Yeah,
like the way they did it was
they handled Punk's
brilliant.
Was great, right?
Was.
So yeah, like I thought what they did here is also smart.
Over under accurate on this one?
8.67 from Cage Match.
Okay, I'm pretty much accurate with that. I went 4.25 stars. I feel like you want to go 4.5, and I wouldn't hold it against you.
I'd probably go 4.5. Like it's really close to the opener for me, and then Meltzer went 5, which for Meltzer that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, that must mean it's a shit match because it's infinite.
I think I saw a thing where he said this might be the best pay-per-view ever again or something.
I don't think it's the best pay-per-view ever.
It's not, but it was great.
I think it's in contention for like one of my favorite, one of the stronger AEW ones because I think I saw it's like within the top 10 highest rated AEW shows.
Yeah, it was awesome. Next match, I don't think's contributing to that awesomeness. It is Babes of Wrath defending the women's tag team championships against Megacross, or what's their actual name?
Divine Dominion.
Dumb. Megacross is better. So
I don't think we can do the conglomerate name every time though.
So it is Willow and Harley Cameron against Lena Cross and the other one, Megan Bain. There you go.
The other one.
So Willow gets taken out as the bell rings, so Harley Cameron has to start this match out kind of on her own, which doesn't go well, obviously. Did
Willow get attacked after the match on the pre-show? I remember because like the whole thing was that like
she was selling injuries from
damage,
right. She had wrestled, but then it's funny because they're like, well, she had wrestled another match. Well, so had the other woman.
Yeah, but I think the point was like that they beat down Willow.
They did,
right? Like,
so she's definitely injured coming into this. So Bane easily overpowers Cameron early on, and then the heels kind of isolate her, make frequent tags, and there's just no one for Cameron to tag for quite a while. Then Willow is back. She tags in. Her left arm's taped up pretty heavily, and she's selling it. She pounces Bane before a Death Valley driver to cross. Stereo heel fallaway slams, corner splashes, and lariats. Claymore suplex combo from Megacross I thought looked kind of cool. Double choke slam to Willow, and it's over, ? Which means that's my way of saying it kind of came out of nowhere.
It was 5 minutes.
Yes, so I didn't know where Harley Cameron went for the second half of the match. She was just gone, so I didn't know I was wondering if she got hurt or anything, but so this was basically 5 minutes, right? There's not a whole lot to say. Willow was gone for the first half of it. Harley seemed to be gone for the second half of it. The champs were never really in sync.
And like it makes sense. Like I was surprised it was that short. The story told made sense. Like it's what I expected, but I didn't expect it to be that short.
It makes sense. I guess the only one of the two that's really the experienced, talented wrestler is injured, and Harley's just trying to figure things out still. And they just got steamrolled by a powerhouse team that showcased some cool tandem offense. To be honest, fine for what it was, but it wasn't much, right? I think Bane and Cross do have potential as this giant monster team.
That's why I was like, I mean, I did pick this one. I know you didn't. So
I didn't.
One of the ones where I get up on you. I think let's see where I got 3 off this. This was your 10. This is the 10.
This is what killed me. I just didn't think they would give a brand new person the titles, but
I knew they wouldn't give her the singles title, but having, I think, like this kind of Haas dominant woman tag team is interesting.
I think they should have a long run until you really build a babyface team that people love. To actually build a really cool story around a women's match would be nice. So I'm hoping that that's the route they're going. I don't feel like this was a pay-per-view match, though, especially compared to the quality of almost everything else on this show.
I don't disagree with that, but at the same time, I think a pay-per-view is the only time where you can do something like this, where Willow had a match earlier in the night.
Yeah, it
I
feels
just
like
think it would be better spent if I'm not saying the Cross Willow match was so great that it had to be on the main show, but I think you would be better spent to have both title matches on the main show so that it's a more apparent story. I mean, I guess if you're watching the pay-per-view, you're probably watching the pre-show, but I don't know, like
or you're
just
at least
to
aware
make
of it.
the story more apparent, right? I think.
Mhm. So I think that's my main criticism of AEW pay-per-views is I pretty much love all of them, but they could trim the fat. There's always a couple matches where I'm like,
I agree.
you could
Yeah,
have just
that's
done
probably
8
the
matches
one.
and not had these two on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So over under accurate for this one. I'm curious.
Right, because sorry, I think like maybe the point you like because I was saying you could do it on pay-per-view, but I guess you could do it on TV. Like you could have the the TBS title match on Dynamite and then like have the tag title match on Collision.
Sure.
It's probably tell the same story, right?
And shave a half hour off this show.
Yeah, right. Like I think you could tell that story.
Yeah. Although
Uh,
maybe they're purposely looking for buffer matches to keep the crowds from.
I don't think that's a terrible idea either. But
No.
then, or better yet, have the TBS title match on Collision the night before, since this was on Sunday. So we did have Collision before the pay per view, and then keep this tag title match on the show because I don't mind getting the tag titles on the show, but just make the match a little longer since Willow's had like a day to heal,
Mhm.
like heal up a bit. Right, she can still be damaged, obviously. Anyways, cage match was a 4.62.
I'm over that.
And then Meltzer only went 2 stars.
Wow. I went 2 3/4. I was
I
like just
agree.
below average. I don't know.
I agree.
I didn't hate it. Then we get the match for who is the most dangerous man in AEW. It's Swerve taking on Brody King. Again, I really like the simple storyline here of
Yeah,
someone
I think
else.
it's been a decently like a pretty well built feud for just as simple as it is.
Someone else referred to Brody King as the most dangerous man in wrestling, and Swerve's not
Okay.
having it. So he's flipped back to a mega heel for this. So we get slaps and chops that take Swerve down early because I don't know why you get into a slap fight with Brody King.
Just stupid.
Then a Brody King Saito suplex early on. King runs into a nice kick to the head. They called it a house call. I feel like they use that a bit liberally sometimes, but
I don't remember. I do remember him hitting a house call or two to Brody, but I don't remember if this is that or not.
then a slingshot stomp on the apron. Swerve lawn darts Brody King into the post, pulls up the mats, exposing the floor. We get a Uranagi to Swerve onto the barricade, and then he runs him into the barricade twice. Danielson informs us that neither man wants to lose this match.
I think I do remember laughing at that.
Amazing.
We were like,
love Danielson,
wow.
but that wasn't
That
exactly
was not one of his
gem.
finer lines.
No. Swerve starts to target Brody's previously injured hand. King bends Swerve backwards around the ring post and a backbreaker on the steps. Awkward black hole slam to Swerve on the floor. I didn't think he landed quite right. Crazy strike exchange on the apron. Swerve picks Brody up and power bombs him on the apron. Pretty cool spot.
That was pretty impressive. I do remember
It
that.
was. Brody avoids being stomped on
Didn't
the.
you do like the sorry? You didn't do? Didn't you do like the deadlift from the ground? I remember like I was like it looked like he wasn't gonna get it. And I ended up being really impressive. I thought.
And that comes up in the Bandito match too. Remember the
Yes.
21 plex?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
And I listened to some, not to skip ahead, but somebody else talking about how that should, and we said it in the moment, that's how he should do that.
I agree.
As much
say
as
that again.
possible.
We'll say it again.
Um,
We'll talk about it.
Brody avoids being stomped on the exposed corner. Brody with a diving press off the second rope, cannonball to Swerve against the exposed corner, and Brody hits, I don't know what kind of driver it was. I always get them confused, so I just said a driver for a 2 count. Brody chokes Swerve and drops him to the floor. Swerve escapes a gonzo bomb on the floor and then hits, really impressively, a vertebraker to Brody King.
Looked like, for all intents and purposes, pretty safe.
On the exposed, as good as you're going to hit it, yes.
Yeah,
Looked great.
Really well executed spot.
Brody barely beats the count after that. Immediate Swerve stomp, but Brody kicks out at 1, and the crowd starts barking at him as they love to do. Kicks have no effect, but Swerve hits a nice house call for the win after just 15 minutes. And then it looks like there's going to be more of a beatdown after he gets a cinder block out. Swerve does. He's going to kill Brody King on a cinder block, and then Kenny Omega runs out to make the save, basically, for that one, right? Your thoughts on the match?
I like this. It's kind of an interesting style. The contrast of styles between the two guys, but like it's just a simple grudge, right? And it's a hard hitting match, but I thought like the big spots were really cool, and like Swerve was executing a lot of risky stuff here, but that ended up working out really well, like the vertebrae on the floor, the power on the apron. I thought Brody looked good, even though he lost 2, and like you can argue there's an exposed turnbuckle involved, there's exposed floor involved. Brody didn't exactly, he took more damage than probably should have, legally speaking.
Mm-hmm.
But I think like Swerve made sense to win, which we both did pick this one, obviously.
We did.
We both get 5 from this.
Nice.
Um, and yeah, like I don't know, it's hard to remember specific things, but I do remember liking this one.
I really like the match. I guess if I'm gonna nitpick, I'll say like for a match between guys trying to prove they're the most dangerous.
Yeah, it's kind of tame.
They could have ramped it up more. That being said, still really good physical match with a simple story that I like behind it. I do like Brody King getting a significant match on a pay-per-view. Again, I like just him being visible. He's cool. Never really ascended to that level of violence I was hoping for, considering the dangerous man sort of thing. But that's also tough to do on a show that has a death match as a main event, right? So
That is true.
it's
That
kind of
is true.
hard to do that. But
it also is tricky because like it's not Swerve's main feud either. If we had more time, I would say like, okay, this is the match, and then we could do more like a more fitting match type, like you're saying,
yeah,
at the next show. But obviously,
right.
it's not going to happen right now.
No. Over under accurate on that.
7.69 from Cage Match.
I'm about accurate. I went 3 3/4, which puts
I
me
agree.
close to that.
Meltzer went 4 1/4.
It feels like an absolute 3 3/4 match to me. Like
I
it
agree.
feels like automatic for me. But
Yeah.
anyways. All right, next we get Statlander taking on Tekla for the AEW Women's Championship. Tekla is the defending champion. This one's 2 out of 3 falls because they've had lots of interactions and matches already. And my first note says I'm air frying, so my notes may suffer. I don't remember what I air fried, but there's something going on.
Pickles.
Oh, pickles, that's right.
I remember you telling me pickles at least.
Stat is overpowering to start the match, and then she counters the spider move that Tekla likes to do in the ropes and lands a delayed superplex. Tekla avoids Stat, takes over with some kicks before removing her belt. She is obsessed with whipping Statlander with things, is what it seems to be.
We had the strap match. She was getting whipped the other, like one of the collision shows.
I hear rumors the strap stuff's not done as well, so we'll see.
How do they already did a strap match? You can't do it again.
I don't know. We'll see. The ref takes the belt away before she can use it. Tekla gets a bridging pin early while holding onto the ropes for added leverage. So the first fall was pretty quick. And I was irritated because Statlander doesn't even seem to care. Like, she literally got cheated for the first fall of a 2 out of 3. And she was just like, okay, do. Next fall starts, I guess. It was strange to me.
Can't be angry about it. I don't know.
Statlander attacks as soon as the bell rings, hits a suplex on the floor. Tekla double stomp off the apron to Stat's back. That looked pretty good. Statlander gets run into the barricade. We do get the successful rope spider move thing that Tekla does with a nice boot to the face following up. Running knee kick, clothesline, stops the upside down spear from Tekla. I guess she was in their upside down position before she goes for the spear, I think is what I meant there.
Down spear.
Tekla hits the spider suplex. She dives to the floor, but Statlander rolls through. Tekla gets swung into the barricade repeatedly. I think that spot always looks pretty good when people get swung into the barricades.
I do like that.
Statlander hits a driver for a 2 count, and Tekla lands a bunch of chops, but they're just starting to fire Statlander up. Tekla puts on an octopus. Stat counters into Sunday Night Fever and picks up the second fall off of that move. So it's 1-1. Obviously, how shocking. A 2 out of 3 match going to the third fall never happens.
I can remember, like, I always will tout it's Shelton Benjamin, Chad Gable, Usos, Royal Rumble 2018. Usos 1-2-0. I can't remember it ever happening otherwise.
I know. Tekla with an eye gouge. She shoves Statlander into the ref. She grabs the referee's belt now. Stat takes it away and starts whipping Tekla as the ref is down. Sunday Night Fever for the visual pin, but the rest is still down. So the rest of the Triangle of Magnus show up, but they get whipped and clotheslined. The referee is back and takes his belt away. Stat turns around into a spear. 2 stomps for Tekla, and it's over.
It's done.
I thought it was good, but I don't think it didn't feel like this personal, intense, kind of like they've faced each other a million times. We have to settle it with 2 out of 3 falls.
That's why I was like, why this match 2 out of 3 falls? This did not do anything to justify that storyline stipulation pick for me.
And I really, really want to like Tekla. And I think having her win here is the right decision. I'm not trying to say it's not. We both predicted it, I believe. Yes?
Yes.
It was a solid title defense for her. Good, but not great is what I said. Like,
I agree. For a 2 or 3 falls match, those matches usually reach like a certain fever pitch. Like, I think DIY FTR, right? Right. Yeah, they had 2 or 3 falls. Yeah. Or my favorite NXT match ever was Cole Gargano 2 or 3 falls, right? Like 2 or 3 falls matches is such a fun stipulation because even if you know it's going to go to the third fall, it usually just has a certain drama to it of like having the other two falls, right? And I just think this one didn't quite hit that pitch.
Yeah, there's a potential for 2 to 3 matches, fall matches to be epic, right? And we didn't get there. This felt like
Yeah.
just an extended regular TV
And
match.
it's not even all of them have to be epic, but I feel like this one still just didn't quite hit the mark.
Over under accurate?
This one was a 7.19 from Cage Match.
Accurate. I went 3.5, so that's 7.
I would say, yeah, and it's 3.25 from Meltzer. So Meltzer's actually under this time.
Pretty in line with us, yeah, on that one. Then we go into the Trios Championship match. It is Proto Okada. And who was with them?
That's weird that you
Oh,
don't know.
Davis, sorry.
Yeah,
right?
I call it Okada and Aussie Open, but yeah.
And Jet Speed and Mystico now.
They're
so-
all wearing masks. It was weird.
Yeah, Knight and Bailey come out in Mystico-inspired masks that got taken off somewhere
They
in...
did wrestle in them for a bit.
They
which
did.
I didn't like, but then they ended up getting like them taken off by the heel, so that was fine.
We get Okada, Mystico really briefly to start, and then it's kind of like they were holding off on that, I think. So we get Knight and Davis early on, and Knight with an impressive power slam to Davis, and then Bailey and Fletcher get in there, and they just pick up where they left off. I feel like these two could just have a match I would watch anytime, anywhere.
We need their match at the next pay-per-view.
Mystico suicide dive headbutt to Okada looked really cool. Davis throws Mystico onto Knight and Bailey. Davis is in control. Things kind of slow down. Not in a bad way. I don't mean that in a negative way. Just he's got a different style from everybody in here. Knight with a leaping clothesline to Fletcher as Knight needs a tag, but Okada takes out the others before he can make it to the corner. Fletcher's thrown onto Davis's shoulder, then thrown into a Fletcher kick as Aussie Open do their thing for a bit. Mystico,
It did make me really happy seeing Aussie Open hit tag offense again.
Yeah,
like
it's a
something in me just missed that for sure. I did enjoy seeing them together.
Mystico flies around and takes everyone out. Stereo missile drop kicks by Jet Speed. Okada wants Mystico, but Mystico gets the better of him for a bit until Fletcher and Bailey take over. Knight and Okada drop kick others and face off. Okada flips him off and Knight bites Okada's fingers. Fletcher kills Bailey with a super kick as things start to break down, and notes will be impossible, is what it says here. Mystico satellite DDT to Fletcher, and Fletcher's running corner kick to Knight. A bunch of apron offense, including Bailey's flipping double knees.
Like a sequence where like they had paired off on.
I think so.
Sides of the ring, right?
Yes.
I recall that.
It was apron stuff everywhere.
Yeah.
Speedball shooting star to Fletcher for 2. Referee distraction, and a belt is given to Fletcher, but he can't use it. Ultima weapon to Fletcher, but the pin is broken up. Davis cartwheels, then destroys Jet Speed. Piledriver to Knight, then Bailey for the near fall. Davis goes for his lariat, but Bailey drills a spinning kick, then moonsaults to the floor. Yes. Bailey's crazy. Knight up top, but Fletcher running kick, then La Mystica to Fletcher. Knight UFO over them onto Fletcher for the win. After
I did like that. Looked epic.
It looked cool. 17 minutes. We have new Trios champions. And they take this moment after the match to announce on the Tron and it makes sense because we're like, why would they put the Trios belt on somebody that's not there? Well, Mystico is officially all elite.
Contract. I just saw Claudio's on dual contract too. He just signed a CMLL.
So another notable thing on this show, we find out that Mystico is all elite. So
this is the one I really shit the bet on because I dropped 10 on this and you dropped 8. So this is another one that screwed you over.
Because it looks like because we're like, what did they just want to get Hangman out so he can go do something? So I was thinking like singles stuff, like maybe champion, but it turns out he's taking time off. So yeah, they're like, well, get the belts off of them, swap Mystico in, who's signed, and away we go. So I mean, this match was a lot of fun. I thought Davis stood out yet again.
Match like this,
and Bailey and Fletcher are just another chapter to their story. Of
Bailey and Fletcher are great. Okada's just so reliable, and he's just really great too. Davis has been showing out since Doyle got injured, so I think he's fantastic. Knight is just, he's a freak athlete. And then Mystico, I'm not as big on him as other people are. Like, I think he's a little overrated, but he is still good. Like, he's decent value, I think.
I think this makes for a really fun trios team. And I'm not the biggest Mystico fan either, but at least when I see him, he's with 2 other guys I do enjoy a lot. Yeah, and I think the 3 of them together will be a lot of fun. I just hope that Mystico's star power, because he is a huge, huge star, I'm hoping that helps the trios division, because you and I both want this division to be like awesome. So hopefully their feeling of how popular Mystico is, which he is, will help the division. Right?
I will kind of talk about this on Dynamite in lieu of one of the matches, but I really hope that eventually this is where the dogs get, because I think they need something.
Hmm.
So I think they need to get to the trios titles at some point.
Highly entertaining. This is a trios match like only AEW does it. Over under accurate.
This one was we did do the last match, right? Yeah. 7.8 from Cage Match.
I'm slightly over. I went 4 stars, which would put it at an 8. I really enjoyed it.
I'd probably go 4 stars as well. Meltzer went 4 3/4. Wow.
He is an AEW. Like,
It's infinite.
we're definitely biased towards AEW, but he's next level, man.
I did see people giving him shit for because he was in attendance for the show the other week. It's like he likes the company and was in his hometown. How dare
he go enjoy himself, right?
How dare he go to a show? But then it's like you have green shirt guy at every WWE show ever. We're not like gonna get on him for being
No, of
for
course
favoring
not.
company.
Next match, the one I was secretly looking forward to maybe the most, and it was Andrade taking on Bandito. I love both of these.
Probably in my top 3 most anticipated. It was probably this Texas Death and Mox Takeshita.
It's one of those hipster moments where I'm like, I've loved these guys before everyone else loved these guys, because I was watching Bandito in ROH when nobody knew who he was.
That one Andrade NXT match is like
One of my favorites ever.
Holy Grail.
So this is a series of quick escapes by each person. Again, this is not for the Ring of Honor Championship for whatever reason. Sort of telegraphing.
Well, there's a reason I think.
So after that first note, my next note says they really need to make the tweets smaller. I guess they're taking up too much of the screen for my taste at that point.
You have had an issue with those. I do. While.
More fast action and no one can get an advantage as Danielson hypes their lucha style. Tranquilo rope pose early by Andrade. Bandito takes his pants off and Andrade runs him over to a good reaction because I think Bandito was struggling to get the pants. And I feel like Andrade
had his gear is inspired by Super Dragon or some wrestler from the area.
I feel like Andrade kind of just did that on his own and went, "You're struggling with your pants. I'm just going to attack."
I think so, which I think was a decent ball to pull. Yeah.
Super smart. Andrade keeps teasing taking off his pants as well. Bandito with some impressive Hurricane Ranas in and out of the ring. Bandito gets caught coming off the ropes into a hard powerbomb from Andrade. Bandito's dropped on the barricade. Andrade takes his pants off and the crowd reacts. And then, of course, it's time for a selfie with the woman at ringside again. Commentary talk about Polaroids, super timely. Talking about Polaroid cameras in 2026.
Yeah, didn't Callis say $20 for Polaroid, and they were like making fun of him?
Yeah. Bandito counters into a nice cutter. Bandito gets into the Tree of Woe, but avoids a stomp and hits a German to Andrade violently into the corner. Strike exchange before Andrade follows Bandito in with a boot. German suplex by Bandito. He kicks Andrade to the floor and hits a great Fosbury flop. They exchange different suplexes as neither man can hit the third consecutive of the other. So it's kind of they're trying to hit 3 amigos, then 3 Germans, and nobody can get the third one off.
I do remember that going back and forth for quite a bit. Yeah.
It was awesome. Gorgeous shooting star by Bandito for a 2 count. Andrade moonsault over the top, like over the post, right, to the floor.
That was really nice.
Was pretty crazy. Andrade with another, I thought I made a typo, but I know what I mean now. With his moonsault after teetering for a second.
Yeah.
Running double knees for 2. Fall away moonsault slam by Bandito for 2. X knee. Bandito calls for the 21 plex.
I don't remember if it was this one or the second X knee, but like he was crushing it.
There's the one weird one that's coming up. He goes for the 21 plex, but gets decapitated by the back fake kick back elbow. Looks disgusting. Insane.
Absolutely disgusting.
Oh, this was the one. I didn't know what to call it. Remember, I called it a fireman's carry rolling head kick.
Oh yeah, that was insane.
It looked awesome. Whatever it was, I don't even know. That was
crazy.
And then we get here. It is the 21 plex to Andrade from a lying position. So he's flat on his stomach.
And then like it's basically a deadlift 21 plex. Not really, but like kind of.
And I don't know who was talking about it.
So much better because Andrade looks stupid waiting for it.
Wrestlers are very frequently lying on the mat on their stomach. They are very infrequently holding on to the second rope bent over at the waist, right? Yeah. So if he can do this,
if it works out, I think this is absolutely the way he should be doing it from now on.
And it showcases his freakish strength even more, right? And he can probably do this with. I bet you. Do you think he could do it to Brody King? I feel like he could.
If he really tried, I think so.
That's crazy.
I think he could
to
do
say.
It like Claudio. He could do it to.
It's crazy.
Like I think he could do it to more of the roster than you would think, right?
Yes. So then we get a nasty looking X knee, another 21 plex called for, but Andrade flips out, drills another one of his patented back elbow. I don't know how he makes such a simple thing look so devastating.
It's so funny to me too that like this is just like a move in his arsenal, but then like Jericho is trying to use the Judas effect for so long,
And
and it's just like
Andrade's looks 10 times better at least.
yeah. Or I even saw like I can't remember if it was this match or the um if it was the Revolution match or the match on Dynamite where Nick Jackson, I think one of the Bucks did back elbow, and like it also looked better than Judas effect. I
Yeah.
remember like when the Bucks were feuding with when Jericho's teaming with Omega, one of them, I think Nick Jackson did a Judas effect to mock Jericho, and that also looked better.
Yes, Jericho
Or
looks weak usually.
you know who also had a mean back elbow was Noam Dar.
He
His
did.
back elbow was
I loved.
nasty.
I miss
His
Noam Dar.
nasty.
He's so good. Sorry.
I love Noam Dar.
That back elbow gets drilled, leads to the Avalanche DM, which is
That
Andrade's
looks awesome too.
finisher.
It's like that butterfly neck breaker.
And Andrade picks up the win. 22 minutes, I felt like the perfect amount of time for this match. I thought it was incredible. The story was that they're evenly matched and that they have to absolutely throw everything.
And he threw it a challenge, right?
Yes.
Andrade came out.
So
Like,
there were
Not
some
much built for this one, but the match.
there were some moves down the stretch that got like an audible reaction from us, which is always a good sign. I knew it would be
a good match, absolutely.
I knew it would be awesome, and it was. The final few minutes were super exciting. Even though I was confident Andrade would win, the action kind of overcame that predictable nature. It was my favorite match on the show to this point, and there was already 2 matches I loved. And like you're saying, if this has a huge story behind it and the stakes are a little higher,
You could be looking at a 5-star match.
I could be, right? So I didn't get to that point. I don't know. What were your thoughts?
I know Meltzer gave it 5.
I'm
5
sure.
I thought this was it was a dream match that was executed pretty near perfect, I would
Mhm.
say, given like again the lack of build that we had. I just like such crazy action. Double pants rip, I guess, is a plus for some.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, the final stretch of this match is one of those matches where just it reaches such an insane pace, and the stuff they're doing is insane. The X knee or two that Bandito hit looked gross. Andrade's back elbows are gross. The deadlift 21 plex is awesome. They're just going back and forth. Like Bandito seems to be the master of like his matches going insane the final stretch. Like that match with Takeshita from
I was
ROH
trying to
last
think which
year.
one I like better, this or that match with Takeshita, which was phenomenal too.
I don't know, because that one didn't really have much of a build either.
No.
It's really just like a match basis.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd have to watch that one again, I think, which we already did watch that one twice, I think, last year. But like, yeah, he just seems to reach a fever pitch at the end of his matches, right? Just like some insane back and forth exchange. And yeah, like I thought the super finisher for Andrade was a really cool way to finish it. Result was never in doubt, but man, like what a match to get,
So
right?
we both picked this one, correct? I believe.
Yeah, obviously.
How many points?
For me, where is it? There it is. For me, it was both of us are 7.
Nice. Over under accurate?
Why am I looking over there? 8.71 from Cage Match, and then I already said Meltzer gave 5.
I'm pretty close. I went 4.5, so I'm at 9, you know.
Another 4.5. It's again jockeying for position with the tag title match in the Continental.
Yes. I think this was my favorite. That's what I said at the time, so I'll stick by that. Then we get sort of a buffer to the main event, and that is the Dogs taking on Cassidy, Darby Allin, and Roderick Strong in a tornado trios match. So another interesting sort of different type of match here.
Solid theme song from what I could tell.
Yep. Gabe Kidd absolutely mauls Roddy here before a quick flurry and a code red from Allin. Finley tosses Cassidy around. Allin fights off all 3, hits a missile drop kick to Finley. We get a crazy spear by Connors to Darby.
Darby like jumps over the turnbuckles to go to the apron, I think, to get either Finley or Kidd. And Connors just runs through, spears him off the apron. Look, Connors almost landed bad. Like it was crazy and nowhere. Like he absolutely dove for that.
Like he was shot out of a cannon out of nowhere. It looked fantastic.
Connors has a mean spear. I do like it.
Kidd is gives a hanging guillotine to Darby, then a doomsday device. Jack is mad about the announced Shafir Storm no holds barred for Dynamite. Well,
I was like, of all the matches to give me an instant rematch of, why would you pick that one?
Well, you didn't get it, so there you go.
I'm not complaining either.
Darby is tied to the corner by his chain to the tag rope, I think it was, right?
Yeah, I did like that. I thought that was a unique way to do it. They tied the tag rope around.
And then they basically beat the hell out of him as he's stuck there. Cassidy does lazy slaps to all before Kidd drills him with an elbow. Roddy's on fire for a stretch here with backbreakers and suplexes. He throws Cassidy into a bunch of people. Darby's still tied to the corner. Orange finally cuts him free, and then he hits an immediate coffin drop to the floor. We get a nice backbreaker to Connors, then a stronghold. Triple submissions by the baby faces, but Finley fights his way out. forgot about this. Remember Tony just randomly dropped an F-bomb on commentary?
Oh, yeah.
And we went back multiple
What was
times.
it? What Gabe Kidder was at Finley. It was like,
I
oh, he's
can't.
effing awful.
Yeah, I was like, no, he must have said, it must have just sounded like that.
Nope, it was
Yeah,
that.
it was.
I think we were quoting it the rest of the night.
They pair off and brawl. Kid shoves Darby off the top, then the apron to the floor. Connors counters an orange punch with a spear. Kid gets a skateboard and and hits himself in the face with it. Remember?
Because he's like smacking out the ramp and it looked like it a bit more rebound than he was expecting.
The first time almost hit him. Then he did it again and he full on hit himself in the face with it. It was amazing.
He was definitely trying to like play it off, right? Like
Darby does the skateboard stomp to Kid's head off the apron. Roddy Strong is left alone for
the ramp, wasn't
it? Was it? A spear chop block combination for 2 on Strong.
That looked really good. I really like that.
Connor hits a brainbuster, Finley finisher, and Allen breaks it all up with a coffin drop.
Yeah, I like Finley's finisher. It didn't get much of a reaction because I don't know how many people know it's his finisher, but it's like a suplex to a knee.
Pretty cool. So
I like it.
I missed it, but Kid is zip tied to something at this point. So he's
so like I thought it was someone under the stage grabbing him, but I do remember Darby grabbing a zip tie when he got freed from the tag rope. So I do remember Darby having a zip tie.
Yeah.
It just took me a second to realize that's what it was.
So with Kid sort of out of the picture, we get the end of Heartache to Connors and Strong throws Cassidy.
No, because it was Roddy hitting something else earlier and you thought it was
I did, but it wasn't.
You're like, they call it a backbreaker?
Yeah. So he throws Cassidy on top for the cover and the win after 12 and a half minutes. I think I liked this match more than most people did. I thought it was fun.
It was a good match. I enjoyed it.
I thought the dogs came across as like this vicious, intense trio, and putting them.
I will say, the loss aside, they did look good here.
I agree, and I like the fact that it was Tornado because it makes them look all the more violent.
And it also differentiates from the other trios match, right?
Yeah,
so at least like it feels different from the one we just had. So it's not like it doesn't run the risk of being that like the similar style, right?
Right. And then there were moments in this too where it got like actual reactions from us in the moment, and that's always a good sign.
Especially, I think.
I am annoyed that the dogs lost here. I don't know why.
People also annoyed with the result in Dynamite. That one does not annoy me as much, and I'll talk about it more after the match, obviously. But yeah, this is the loss that definitely bothers me a bit. Like the Dynamite loss I could forgive slightly because
why can't they pin Roddy Strong?
That's what I'm saying. Like I get Roddy just returned to the whole thing, but like it doesn't matter that much. And for me, it was like, okay, Kid and Connor's lost so that we could get Finley to debut. Sure, that makes sense. But like I really think they should have won.
I agree. They're
I think this is one that was a real misstep.
And we're trying to establish them as this like physical,
I'm
violent.
not saying this like destroys them, because I do think they're really cool, and I think they're still menacing. Honestly, it's just like you can't keep doing this too much, otherwise it's gonna run the risk of killing them all.
I thought this was a really good match. I'm gonna guess I'm over on over under accurate. Did either of us pick?
No,
I didn't think
the
so.
dogs. Yeah, it's a 7.17.
I am over that. What was Meltzer?
Meltzer 3 3/4.
I'm over that. I went 4 stars, man. I thought this was fun.
Honestly, I could agree with that. I'll agree with that. I did think I enjoyed this too.
When I look back, right, I'm like, did I enjoy it more than the other like 3? Did I enjoy it? I guess the question, did I enjoy it more than Swerve Brody King? Because I gave that 3 3/4. I think I did a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
If I'm being honest. So
I think like the Tornado Trios match kind of, like you're saying, fits the dogs, right?
Yeah.
And I think Swerve Brody King is missing that element where the stipulation fits them, right? I
exactly.
think that's kind of missing that
Good
element.
Point. I think they made a lot of 12 and a half minutes too.
I agree. Yeah, I was just looking at it now and I was like, it was only 12 minutes. I thought that was it definitely felt longer. And again, like the opener, I do mean that in a positive way.
Yeah, me too.
I would probably agree with the rating too. Like I ended up liking this. The result is a shame, but result aside, I do think it's a strong match.
Yeah, I thought it was fun, and I'm really enjoying Gabe Kidd especially. I think he's just as an unhinged lunatic, and I think he's really good at it.
And I think Connor's compliments him well. Honestly, Finley's been solid so far.
And maybe Finley, like we said, is the guy that can hold them together, because they're psychopaths and they need a voice of reason, and Finley's a little more sane than them, so or
he's like at least a more calculated guy.
On to the main event that was not too short. It was definitely a lengthy match. It's Hangman challenging MJF for the AEW Championship in a Texas death match, with the added stipulation that if Hangman loses, he can never challenge for the championship as long as he lives.
Hangman did not come out to his regular theme song.
That is in my notes.
Again, I'm gonna say this now while I remember. This is a curse. Last time he came out to this song, he lost the title. He needs to stop doing that.
And MJF had a big like vignette ahead of it where he's a cowboy. It was kind of funny.
An old Western town. I thought that was pretty funny.
It was funny.
And he comes in like Terry Funk inspired gear.
Yes,
which
he
I
did.
thought was kind of neat.
Yep. So early on, Paige is stomping a mud hole in the corner. The crowd is there's some crowd brawling, and MJF is bleeding early as Hangman is drinking a Fans. I don't know if it was a beer or some sort of drink.
I think it was.
My next note says, nuts to Hangman's face. He chases MJF with a trash can lid. He eventually clobbers MJF in the head with it to earn the first count from the ref. Hangman gets a staple gun. He staples MJF's hand, and then just to let us know that it is real, he has a birthday card because it's MJF's 30th birthday.
I was like, yeah, I better see some shoot staples.
And he staples the card to MJF's chest.
I like that.
Yeah, that was cool. Paige gets a window. I kind of looked down, and then it was smashed everywhere. So I didn't see.
What was it? I'm pretty sure
because the frame was gone and the glass was in the ring.
It got laid in the corner, and then I think one of them smashed on like hit it off the mat to break it. Like, so I think I don't remember who. I would assume it's Hangman because MJF ended up sweeping it later, but they like
funny.
hit it off the mat to intentionally break it, so it like would have the broken glass.
So Paige is dragging MJF through all the broken glass now.
Yeah, it was a bit of a fight, and then he ended up body slamming him on it, I think, and then
dragging him through. And then a little bit later, we get barbed wire is in MJF's mouth. MJF does a toe hold to Paige onto a chair on the floor. MJF stabs Paige in the head with a piece of glass a few times. Then Paige gets slammed on the glass, and he gets dragged through it now. It's turnabout is fair play, I guess. MJF, in a pretty funny heel move, as you said, is sweeping up the glass at some point.
I did like.
There's a broom. Paige breaks it, but ends up getting hit in the head with the jagged piece before a chair shot to the back. MJF, this is almost too far, gets a syringe and puts it right through Paige's cheek and fires what was ever in it. And you can see it's right through the man's cheek.
Oh, I was actively like wincing and recoiling. Like, it's not often where there are things where I'm like actively like.
And I guess in the grand scheme of things, it's a tiny little puncture wound through your cheek. But I mean, I sound like I'm not looking to do it, but versus.
Well, it freaked me out the first time they did it when Hangman did it to Swerve. It's still like it's been like almost 2 years since then.
I'd rather that than the board with nails in it. In my back, I think.
I guess
that's a tough choice.
I guess, but like, yeah, this is like a lot of people are saying, "Oh, this isn't wrestling; it's too far." While I will say it does always like gross me out. It's like it's hard to watch. I don't mind that feeling sometimes.
I love it
because I don't get that a lot. I don't mind the odd thing that they do like that, where I'm just like, do I really want to see it again? No, but if they do it again, like in a year or so, I'll probably react the same and I'll enjoy it deep down.
I don't consider myself a deathmatch guy, but I get into them when there's like 2 or 3 a year. Like I'm cool with that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Deathmatch wrestling all the time is kind of but like this one, it's got story. It's like it's personal, right? Like when a deathmatch is appropriate, it's great.
And as soon as they bring out the light tubes, which are coming, you know it's a death match. That's like a classic indie death match spot.
Yeah. Glass and light tubes, right? Like that's the thing.
MJF hits an Alabama slam onto a barbed wire chair. We get a heat seeker countered into a dead eye on a barbed wire chair. Barbed wire chair to MJF's back. Sorry, shorthand. I was confusing myself here. Follow-away slam to MJF onto the barbed wire chair. Hangman misses a moonsault, takes the barbed wire chair right to the face. We get a dead eye off the apron through a table on the floor.
That's why he does a lot, but I think it always looks really good.
It does. MJF with a tombstone off the apron through a table. Hangman
also awesome.
Barely gets up in time for this one. MJF spits in Paige's face. Paige hits a pop-up powerbomb. Each man gets a light tube. MJF retreats. Paige follows him. Light tube over MJF's back on the stage. Second one to the head. People in the crowd are uncomfortable. I love when they cut to people who look like they're just.
I love the one guy's reaction to the kneel to the cheek. Yeah. That was a great. It's like the guy who got memed after Taker lost, like the streak got broken. It's like that kind of thing, right?
There's so much blood at this point. Paige gets out a handful of wooden skewers. Obviously, there's a brief battle over the skewers. Paige ends up winning, drives them into MJF's head. So we get this crazy visual of MJF taking a buckshot lariat with wooden skewers sticking out everywhere. Of his head.
It looked awesome.
Yes,
it looked awesome. I thought because you were like, please stick in, and then like a decent amount of them
did
stuck in his head. So takes the buckshot. It looks great. Like I thought that was such a well executed spot. I really liked it.
MJF barely gets up in time from that. Page gets a bag with a dog collar and a chain in it. He puts the collar around MJF's neck, then himself. Chain shots to MJF. Page wants a lighter. Battle on the apron, and a barbed wire table is set up on the floor. Hangman gets yanked off the ropes by the chain, goes through the table with the barbed wire on it. Then we get chain shots to Page up the ramp to the stage. Hangman belly to belly off the stage through a table, and some sort of electricity is happening at this point. Both men are up at 9. Page
I thought for a second there they were gonna do like a no contest, and like that's their way of warming out.
That would have been a cop out for sure.
Yes.
Page literally dog walks MJF back to the ring. We get a buckshot is countered with a low blow. MJF gets the title belt, hits Page in the head with it. Page pops up after a 9 count.
Nuts. Man, I was feeling that.
Low blow, then a belt shot by Page, sets up for the buckshot, but instead we get a ring shot, and MJF hangs Page over the ropes before dropping him to the floor. Blood gets...
He smacks off the camera, and there's like blood on the lens.
That
was really cool.
A perfect smear of blood on the camera.
Perfect. And like the way he landed felt natural. Like I will say that was a perfect... Like the finish, they did do it really well.
So the referee counts, and the match is over. After 49 minutes, MJF retains. Hangman loses and can never challenge for the title again.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on...
Result aside, what a match.
Yeah.
Like,
insane.
What a match.
And it keeps going like what more can they do, and how can they make it feel... They're always good though.
Yeah, the Texas Death matches, especially when it's Hangman, which most of the time it is, let's be real.
It's his match at this point.
They're always great. Like, he had a good one with Moxley a few years ago, and we're like, okay, that's great. How can you top that? Then he has that one with Swerve. And it's like, how can you top that? And that one might always be my favorite.
That's my favorite. Yes.
Because that one's just like, wow.
And the story behind that one was next level too, right? So
but then like you had the one at All In last year, and that was awesome.
Yeah.
And then you have this one, and like it's just they all feel different, and they're all so like the last one, the one with Moxley last year was like kind of like the Bloodline rules, where it's like, you know, all the run-ins, and like it was a really cool cathartic moment, and the one with Swerve was like a super personal one, and this one also was super personal, and it felt different, right? And it's just so many big spots, so many crazy things. Like the glass was really well done. You had the barbed wire chair, the barbed wire table, the light tubes, the dog collar, the belt, the stage spot, the skewers, the needle, the staple gun. Like there's so many things they did here, right, that are just so crazy. And I thought like sometimes with these last man standing Texas Death type ones, it's hard to do near falls when it's like a whole 10 count. Usually you can see them getting up, right? But I thought there were a lot of times in this one where I was like, I could feel myself getting nervous because it seemed like Hangman was about to lose, or he almost had it won and MJF would get up. And so I thought like for a Texas Death match, the near falls were like really, I was really biting on it. And like this one was really helped by, I think, and I said this in the build too, the match that's like, it was one of the matches I've felt this way about since Hangman Ospreay last year, where it was really hard to see who was winning. So that made it even better, where like I thought, okay, in the opener, the Bucks keep kicking out, but I think they're gonna win, right? So I'm like, I'm waiting for that to happen, and then they don't win. But this one, it's like the near falls keep happening, but you don't know who's gonna win, and so it's such an entertaining experience. And I'll talk about the decision afterwards once we're done with like match thoughts, because I think that's a whole different conversation. But the match itself, I thought was fantastic, super violent, super entertaining, and the finish as it was executed was perfectly done, like we said.
And I just think MJF continues to prove he is up for anything. He can do whatever. He's a big enough star where he can just not do stuff like this, right? But he wants to do it.
He did this, and also I think also proved this was we saw live was the tables and tax match. That was also
he's an incredible wrestler, man. Like I know
he doesn't get the credit for like
doesn't.
Also his range too, like,
because he's so good on the microphone that's what everyone focuses on, and they kind of diminish his in-ring work. The guy is awesome.
Like in the promo on Diamond, where he's had a variety of different matches at Revolution. Like he had the dog match a few years ago with Punk, which was a great match. He had the Iron Man match with Danielson, which is also great, but like super different. And they had the standard match with Hangman last year, which was great. And then he had this match with Hangman, which is great. And so those are like each of those matches are really different, right? So he's so much better than people give him credit for, because he is an insane promo, but he's such a great wrestler too. And I think even sometimes I forget that, like he's so good.
This was a fantastic, important, bloody violent main event. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Over under accurate.
8.91 from Cage Match.
And did neither of us pick this, right? Sorry, what was it? 8.96?
Yeah,
That's
8.91.
accurate. I went 4.5 stars for this as well.
Meltzer went 4 3/4. I'm inclined to agree with Meltzer. I think
That's okay.
this is just great. I think it was just the biggest match on the show. I think it has to be the best. I don't know how I feel about the decision though. At the end of the day, I don't like it.
Yeah,
A lot of people are acting like it's the end of the world, and it definitely feels like that.
They have to have a way out of it planned.
They do. I think they do.
I think they have to. Hangman could be there another 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
And like we said, he's a top guy forever.
I do think they do, because like Tony Khan in the scrum made a point to like make sure it's known, like it's a verbal agreement. So like people are saying like, oh, if AEW goes back on the story, then they're no better than WWE. No, WWE would like probably write in the contract, right? This is a verbal agreement. So if like in kayfabe, if they go back on this, it has nothing to do with Tony Khan or anyone official. It's up to Hangman, which is why it's going to be an interesting story. And again, I said this going in, like I'm sure that's going to be an interesting story, and I'll probably be here for it when it happens. But I just didn't want, and I don't want to go through the process of watching Hangman not challenge for the title, for like waiting potentially years on end for him to break this word, right? So that's the thing. Like it does really suck. I at the end of the day, I wish they didn't do it.
Does he get to a point where he gets MJF to like put that stipulation on the line again?
I saw someone suggest like Swerve could become such a monster that MJF ends up going back on it somehow. I could see that happening. Or I saw, and
like he needs Hangman to deal with Swerve and makes that deal with him.
He doesn't want to, right? I could see that.
Yeah.
I also saw someone suggest like if Swerve does get the EVP status, he would help Hangman get a title shot, which I don't know if I would go that route. But I don't know. It does really suck. Like I was really gutted by the decision in the moment, and it did take like a day or two to get over it. I think. Like I will say this too. I like, even though I don't love the decision, I will say it is really great storytelling and in-ring work from them for like to make me feel that result that much, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's
that's fair.
A credit to their creative, and also a credit to Hangman's character too, because I would say definitively right now, I would say Moxley's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, but Hangman's probably right now, he's my favorite wrestler.
Yeah, his character work is amazing.
I think he's just the total package. And so yeah, like him, and I was thinking about it too, he's only ever been world champion unless he was tag champion or trios champion. But in terms of singles titles, I don't even remember him challenging for a mid card title. I can't think of like, and I could be wrong. I hope I am, but like, I can't think of a time I don't think he ever challenged for the TNT title. I know he's never been near the Continental title. The national title is too new for him to have been around. And I'm pretty positive he's never touched the international title either. So he's never been mid card. And MJF said like, oh, he's gonna be in the mid card for a while. I'm okay with him going for the mid card title. I think he could do a lot for one of those belts, right?
And maybe they want him to be one of those lifetime had everything, right? Like if he is a company guy, then maybe they want him to Grand Slam.
Did that kind of with Moxley, and MJF held the international title each for a bit.
Yeah.
The Moxley one, I think that's the last time I remember being super gutted by a match result, was when Cassidy lost his title, because that was such a great run. But yeah, so I'm interested to see where Hangman goes. It is a really tough. It's a bitter pill to swallow for sure.
For sure.
And I'd be interested to see like in instances where like maybe, let's say Ospreay's gonna win the belt down the line, he like offers Hangman a title shot, or something, or like someone offers him a title shot, and Hangman has to like turn it down. She's like, there's stuff you can do here, and I'm sure it'll be great storytelling, because when it comes to Hangman, they don't tend to miss much, right?
Yeah,
it's gonna be a tough little while, I think.
But at the end of the day, this match made you feel something.
Yes,
and that is a testament.
Absolutely. Like I was nervous throughout the entire match. I was gutted at the end, and that's just gonna happen sometimes, right? Like it did suck, but over the week I've gone over it. And it was just a great piece of wrestling, I think.
Yep.
And this is better than, you're saying this about Dynamite to Everett, but this is miles ahead of any PLE match he's put out this year. I don't even need to see any of them to know they're not touching this beauty.
So then we'll get to overall grades for this show.
Do we want to do the points after or now?
Oh, you do it now if you want to. What did we end up with? I lost, I assume.
You did lose. You lost by, I think, 5.
I was putting that women's tag as 10 was my downfall.
I think I got 32, and so you are 27.
That's respectable, I guess.
It's not terrible.
Better than
you dropping the 10 and an 8 was not good for you.
So yeah, another fantastic pay-per-view. There's 10 matches on the card. My grades have 6 of them being 4 stars or higher. And I know I'm a harder grader than a lot of people are. It was a long pay-per-view, but by the end I felt energized.
Yeah, it always is a long night, but it always feels like a worthwhile night, right? Like you were right, like they can always trim a bit of the fat, but at the end of the day, I always feel like I've had a good time, right? Like especially now, I think for me coming home to watch these now, because it's like most of the time, like because I think usually, especially the first term, I'd come home once a month, and usually if I'm coming home for just a weekend, it's usually for AEW pay per view, right?
mhm.
Whether we were watching it on pay per view or whether we went to All Out last year, right? And so I think like having to make a whole effort to come home to watch them instead of just like I could just find on streaming the next day. It is an indictment of what a quality product it is, right? Because, well, I mean, you're paying money every time, right?
Yep.
And I'm making an effort to go watch it live because if it's a WWE, I'll just wait to see the results at this point.
Right.
But W, like I said, if I waited for the results or watch the next day, that the experience of watching the Texas Death Match in the way we did, it's not there, right? Like you said, the feel of watching that is not there. So like I think having to make an effort to go out and watch these every time, it's just it always feels like it's worth the trip home,
It's a
right?
ringing endorsement of their company. Like we arranged our life to be able to come and get you to get
Yep.
home so we could watch it
Yeah.
together, right? So
Yeah.
I mean, I loved we got an amazing tag match to open. We got
Big into
Bandito
both the results.
Andrade delivered an amazing match. We had a Texas Death, like all those were 4.5 stars for me. So
And the trios is good.
I was gonna say A minus overall, but I also think the Osprey coming, the
Christian.
Christian and Edge,
Oh
say what you will, Ronda Rousey, that's a
yeah,
notable thing. So I'm putting this up to an A show, I think,
I
with the
agree.
strength of
This
the
was a really
matches
strong effort.
and notable stuff. The only
Yeah.
kind of lulls were
I think the women's matches.
women's tag was not great, right? And it was 5
Women's
minutes.
tag, yeah, and then, like, maybe even the Tudor Falls was a little eh.
Yeah, but those
But pretty
again
much
were
everything was really great. Like, there was some already match of the year contenders, which was to be expected, obviously. And then, yeah, like, some big moments, right? Like, I saw some people criticize how many returns, and, like, maybe you could have spaced out the returns a little bit more.
sure.
But still, like, those are notable moments, right?
Yep.
And I think the only thing missing was Switchblade.
Fantastic pay-per-view. I'm giving it an A overall rating.
I agree. I will second that.
Super strong. All right, that's going to wrap up our Revolution review. We'll stick with AEW, but now we'll do the weekly show that followed that amazing pay-per-view. We'll talk about this past Wednesday's episode of AEW Dynamite. We did not watch Dynamite together this week, so I'm always intrigued to hear your thoughts on it. I'm ready to talk about it. So remind me, what did I watch? And you did let me know ahead of time, or just as I was started watching it, I think you texted me that you had
I
heard
saw some people tell me about the
crowd
yeah.
was terrible. I think
There were times where I noticed they were dead. It definitely did feel off at times. I don't think it was as bad as it was made out to be for me, but I do think the crowd is a little lacking.
I felt like for entrances and stuff, they were pretty underwhelming. But when
I
it
felt
came
they were
to
kind of dead during the women's match and the coffin.
in-ring action, I thought they were mostly okay. And I kind of don't blame them for being down on those two things, so we can talk about it when we get there.
Yeah. We kicked off with a quick Revolution recap, and then we're right into the first match, which is Osprey taking on Vanilla Baby.
I noticed
Chris.
my note on that recap was there's more violence in this brief recap than you'll see in WWE all year.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right.
So yeah, Osprey's return match. They tried not to yap over the Osprey chants for the theme song again. So yeah, like he looks as good as usual, new ring gear and everything. He's looking good.
Mm-hmm.
We get like a wheelbarrow roll through into like a standing splash on the floor from Christian. Slingshot poncho to the floor from Osprey. Spaceman poncho through the ropes from Christian looks really cool. At one point, I think he had like the tornado DT, like where he goes through the turnbuckles. I think Sami Zayn used to do that all the time. Christian hits a neck breaker over his knee, immediately followed by DT. Pump knee, slice bread from Christian for 2. I really like this. He mockingly sets up for the hidden blade and just like flips him off. He does really simple heel work that I enjoy.
He does.
Lot. And then we get that cut off by Osprey hitting a hidden blade. Another one to the back of the head. Osprey gets the win. After the match, he says the biggest difference between him and Mox is that he doesn't need a weapon to snap someone's neck. He'll do it with his bare hands. Death Rider's music hits. Mox and Yuta come out. Ospreay runs in the crowd, immediately attacks him. He throws a bin at Mox, I think. He lines up Mox for the Tiger Driver. Pac boots him off. Locks in the Brutalizer until security pull him apart. Bang Bang Gang come out because they have a tag match against the Death Riders up next. Ospreay runs up the ramp and jumps on the Pac, and they brawl away as the Bang Bang Gang are running down. I thought it was a solid opener to start. I'm really happy to have Ospreay back, and he looks as good as ever. Like, I really didn't notice much of a difference for him here. And I thought Blake Christian looked good again. I think I always like seeing him. He just moves a little. He's one of those guys that just moves a little different. I love watching him. And I like that we already have people going after his neck. As long as Ospreay's safe to do so, I think it's the right thing to do. We had people go after diverticulitis right after Omega came back, right? So I think it makes all the sense in the world. I thought the post-match stuff was solid. And I'm totally fine with Ospreay having to run the Death Riders gauntlet. And if we get another mini feud between him and Pac, I'm more than happy with that.
Yeah, I thought Christian looked really good here, and it was only 7 minutes, but Ospreay let him just target his head and neck. I don't even think your recap did it justice. It was a ton of moves to the head and neck, almost everything he did, which is just good heel work.
And that about the first Pac Ospreay match. I remember Pac doing that a lot. So I'm interested to see if Pac will, I'm sure he'll be doing that again.
And I think this was all Ospreay needed in his first match back. A quick match. He sells a lot, hits a few moves, and picks up a win and gets out of there. Wasn't a barn burner of an opener for Dynamite, but it was all it needed to be for Ospreay's return. I think I was entertained while it lasted. The aftermath sets up a path for Ospreay. Looks like Pac, then probably Moxley. And I also like
maybe Claudio.
I also like the detail that he was going straight for the Tiger Driver, which is sort of an indication that he is a little more serious and different here, right?
And I think that's also what he meant when he's like, he'll break your neck with that, right?
And so I was hoping he was coming back with a renewed focus for the title. Sounds like we're getting through the Death Riders first, but
revenge first.
Sets up a couple great matches, even if it's just Pac then Moxley. That's awesome. So
that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm more than happy to have another mini feud with Pac.
Happy to see him back, and no, it was not an outstanding Ospreay match, but it was all it needed to be for that.
I agree. So I thought a perfectly fine bit of television. We move right into a tag match. It's Mox and Yuta taking on Juice and Ace Austin of the Bang Bang Gang. Always happy to see Bang Bang Gang on my TV, so I'm glad to see them here, especially getting Ace Austin in there.
I was still caught off guard by Yuta being bald. I kind of forgot.
It's him. Buzz cut Yuta in the trunks is a weird look for me.
It was strange.
I didn't notice how like thin his legs were. He's like, and then you have Ace Austin in this match, who's just like got the thickest
legs in the world. Yeah. All of Yuta's leg days went to Ace Austin.
And
all of everyone's leg days went to Ace Austin.
Ace Austin does leg days for the whole world.
He does.
If you can get legs half as big as Ace Austin, you're fine.
I felt I made a note that it sure feels like Moxley is just a heel again now.
Yes,
coming out of this, and
so weird.
Revolution and this, it's like, nope, he's just a heel. What are you talking about? There was never.
You did make the point when they were like Moxley was kind of facing like Death Rider Tweener, like they could just fill the role of whatever they need right now, because that's kind of what Blackpool did, right? And I always liked that about Blackpool Combat Club, but I feel like Death Riders are always like the definitive heel version of Blackpool, right? So it's a little weird to me still. Although I don't mind if it's like it's for the Ospreay feud, and then maybe they're re-healing, and then they turn on Moxley they turn on Moxley. Like I don't know. The Ospreay thing definitely kind of loses the plot of the potential turn, right?
Seems like it, yeah.
Anyways, we get Juice and Austin each with crowd count punches in the corner on Yuta, double hip toss, basement dropkick from Austin, and then a senton from Juice for a 2 count. Austin hit a lot of like unique strike offense on Mox, and then Yuta. Like I thought he just hit some really cool stuff. He was just kind of moving different, which we always like. Then he like squats Yuta in a fireman's carry and hits a DVD, which I thought was nice. Then Spaceman plancha on the floor to Mox. Mox with a suplex to Austin, a sharp hook kick to Mox from Austin, Juice hot tag flurry, left hand from God to Mox, and Yuta catches one as well. Then a falling powerbomb for 2. Corner evasion and that springboard and Seguri from Austin looked really nice. Austin goes to the fold on Moxley, but Yuta cuts him off with the Psycho knee. Then finish comes to Moxley as a cutter on Juice. Yuta takes him out with the suicide dive, and we get Death Rider Austin for the win. I actually quite enjoyed this match. I thought it was way more competitive than I thought. I kind of got worried Bang Bang Gang were just going to kind of get like an enhancement talent treatment here, so I thought they got a good showing.
I wasn't a huge fan of it. I struggled to get into it. I thought Ace Austin looked cool, and then I thought everything else was... I don't know, the dynamic was weird. I didn't really understand, is it 2 heel factions? And For what?
Bang Bang Gang have been babyface forever.
I don't feel like it's really clear what they are at this point. I don't know, because I'm not watching anything else and they're not on TV that much. I just thought it was a notch below most AEW tag matches.
I liked it.
It
I
was
thought it was a solid TV match. Like
it was
Ace Austin
fine.
had some cool stuff. I always enjoy watching Juice.
Yeah.
Nothing major here, but I did like also had like they bled it from the opener. I thought that was kind of neat.
Yeah.
Then we get a Gabe Kid Darby Allin package. Kid's not afraid of death and he wants to take Darby's soul. It does not stop until Darby's pushing up daisies. And we get sound bites from previous promos. I thought it was solid. It was really stylized. And then after we get to see Kid talking in the quote unquote present and he wants to meet Darby in the parking lot.
Yeah, I'm still enjoying Gabe Kidd. He's unhinged, and maybe that shtick's gonna wear thin on me at some point if I find him one-dimensional. But as somebody just showing up that I'm not super familiar with, I really enjoy what he's doing so far.
Mm-hmm. Then we get a quick Omega promo. He says if Swerve wants to get dangerous, then he's suggesting a game of Risk, and he wants Swerve to put up the number one contendership, and he should have nothing to be afraid of. Should be a great rematch. I at this point thought it would be on pay-per-view though.
Yeah, me too. And it's funny because when Swerve responds later, it's like he didn't know he was number one contender, which I thought was kind of strange. But
I did too, but I guess it's like we don't have rankings. So.
It's a way to add stakes to a match that should be awesome already. So, and at the time, before we see Swerve's response, I was like, I'm not really sure why a heel Swerve would accept these terms.
I agree.
So that was addressed.
And I do like the way we worked around that, which we'll get to, obviously. Then we move on to the unsanctioned coffin match. So actually, this didn't happen.
I mean, some people might say they're better off if it didn't. I heard this was not well received.
I don't understand any hate for it. I can understand it's like maybe not everyone's favorite thing ever, but I don't know. I'll talk about it after.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put the cart before the horse. It's Darby Allin, Gabe Kidd. They start in like it didn't look like a parking lot, but I think it was. It was like
I know it was had
right.
To be.
Like I almost wrote like they said they were gonna be a parking lot, but it looked like it was like an area of pavement and like there was houses slightly in the distance and it looked like there was mostly a field around it. Like I'm not saying it wasn't a parking lot because it very well could have been. It's just like it didn't look like the arena parking lot.
No, and I imagine maybe for the stunt they set up, maybe it wasn't.
Yeah, maybe it was close to the arena. Like
well, they had to set up a place to flip a car over and whatnot, right? So I imagine that's a pretty controlled situation.
I'm not exactly familiar with the area of Fresno, California, so
me either.
But anyways, yeah, they're starting this quote unquote parking lot area. It looks out near a field or something like that. I made note of what the area looked like because it was just strange to me. Darby soaks a cloth. I'm assuming it's like chloroform or something like that, and like
probably
rubs Kid's face in it. Then he loads Kid in the trunk of his car. He drives in like this trash pile, which causes it to flip over. Eventually, Darby crawls out and locks the trunk, and Kid falls out.
I laughed pretty hard at that because the car. The car ends up upside down. You can hear Darby release the trunk, and Gabe just falls out of the trunk. It was good.
Completely limp. It was pretty amusing. Darby puts Kid on a road case and rolls it to the arena, and we get that rolled all the way to ringside. He pulls out a skateboard and a straitjacket and puts Kid in the straitjacket, and he will remain that way.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Darby goes for a scorpion deathlock, but Kid cracks him over the head with the skateboard. He uses the straps of the jacket to whip Darby, kind of like what Tekla likes to do, I guess. So I thought that was kind of a neat use of it. Avalanche Code Red from Darby, Scorpion Death Drop. Darby goes up top, Kid kicks the ref into the ropes to knock Darby off balance. Then he manages to hit a running power slam in the jacket. He tries to shoot Darby in, but Darby bites his nose to get out. Numerous shots to Kid's back and head with a skateboard from Darby, then a coffin drop. Then he knocks Kid into the coffin with a suicide dive, and the lid shuts and he lands in for the win. Darby gets a mic and he's going for MJF.
I almost thought this wasn't supposed to be the finish because it was just so perfect and the lid closed. I'm like, I wonder if it closed early.
The finish was. I texted you that. Like I thought the finish was super well done. A really strange match.
I did not love it. I enjoyed
it at times.
I don't love the treatment of Gabe Kidd in this. He basically got just extended squashed almost by Darby Allin, who doesn't do that.
Can defend it because it's Darby doing insane stuff, and then Kid's at a massive disadvantage, having been rubbed with a cloth, stuffed in a car trunk, put in a straitjacket, and like.
But you've got a match where you're trying to get this new guy over as this super violent, crazy man, and you put him in a match against a guy who is perfect for that. We always say it, and then you just don't let him do it.
Yeah,
and you have him lose clean in 10 minutes in a coffin match.
Kid should have gotten more on this, but
I agree.
Obviously not a clean win for Darby by any means. I'm not like I'm not super up in arms about Kid losing here. Um, like because I'm more than fine. I said this before too. Like I don't mind Kid losing here because Darby's relentless and it's his match type. While I agree, like the match layout, Kid should have done more. I'm not super mad about Kid losing because Darby did like a crap load of stuff to him, right?
Yes.
And it's Darby's match. And then I also didn't mind Kid losing their first match at World Sound last year because Kid wasn't signed then and Darby had momentum for beating Moxley, right? So that's fine. However, Kid losing again here, it doesn't make me so much mad that he lost here. It makes me more mad that the dogs lost at Revolution
Hmm.
because like I don't think the dogs should have dropped the Dynamite match to Darby and Cassie, but whatever. Finley debuted. They especially shouldn't have lost the tournament match at Revolution. I think Kid losing the feud to Darby makes sense because like Darby, he's gonna go to the world title scene. It makes sense for Kid to lose. That's fine. But then he should have gotten momentum from the dogs winning when they could have, right? Which I think they really missed the boat on that.
Hmm.
So like I thought the match was solid. I do think it could have been better, but the result doesn't bother me. It's just more so then the dogs should have won beforehand to give Kid momentum heading into this, so the loss isn't that big of a deal, right?
And I just felt like they
Um,
were building this feud into something, and it
I
just
agree.
feels
I
like
also
this
think
is
like
a whimper.
this also not being on pay per view is a strange play for I thought as well because like I would have thought like I would have pegged this like our match like this and then Swerve Omega for the next pay per view for sure.
Yeah.
So the fact that neither of those are on pay per view is a little interesting to me.
I
Which is
was
fine because we've been getting big stuff on Dynamite. It's just like there are things where I think we should be seeing them for pay per view.
I was disappointed with this match. I wouldn't say it was a bad match, but I wouldn't say it was good either, I
That's fair.
guess.
I do think it's interesting at least. I really hope the dogs get better moving forward because I really like them and I think they're really cool. They just need to win, and I like this is where I said I think we should take the or put the trio titles on them sooner rather than later.
Yeah, you could do that for sure. They are on baby faces now, so that would work.
You give them a bit of run,
Hmm.
and then you give it to the dogs. I think because I don't really know who else really needs the belt right now. Um, we get a Jurassic Express vignette. Perry's packing a suitcase. The Luchasaurus is waiting in the bus honking. Perry has like some sort of was it a walnut? I think I don't. I
I
forget
think
what kind
so.
of nut
And
it
he
was.
can
And
apparently,
then squirrel just jumps in his hand. I think it's like maybe just like even though squirrels aren't jungle creatures, it's just like he's like a Tarzan type guy. I
well, I
guess
think that
yeah,
was Tarzan's thing, right? Is that he communicates with animals and
yeah.
stuff. So,
Perry. We actually sorry we see like a map like pointing to Fresno and they eventually arrive and we actually see the bus pulling up. Perry says the Jurassic Express has arrived and Revolution's a pretty good night for them. The Bucks appear in Massive Revolution was rough for them, but they had to set a good example and fight back to the top. Nick says it starts tonight, and after Nick mentions Okada, Luchasaurus shouts "bitch."
yeah.
This was a simple segment, but I quite enjoyed it. Did you notice the choice of music?
No, I did not.
It was the original Jurassic Express theme song.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of neat. And Luchasaurus saying "bitch" made me laugh. I thought that was kind of funny.
So this, I think they've realized, and they're not wrong, that Perry needs Luchasaurus to be full baby face that they want him to be. And I think this was a fine way of getting Luchasaurus included while he's still recovering, right? Like driving this bus and whatever. And they're really trying to establish
Like Jurassic
Perry.
Express.
Perry and the Bucks are trying to be baby faces now, right? So this is just a vehicle to try and accomplish that. So I think it makes sense. I think Perry does need Luchasaurus. So including him in whatever way they can, I think is kind of smart.
I
And
agree,
then my
yeah. I
other
thought it was
question is, why is Okada teaming up with jobbers?
because Don Callis said so.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll get there.
Yep.
Then we hear from Swerve Strickland. It's just not on the ring at first, and he's demanding everyone stand up for Swerve.
This is where
And
he's
then
like,
you get
unbeknownst to me, I'm the number one. However he phrased it, like we didn't
yeah,
know.
I guess like because he lost to Andrade, so he was like, I guess maybe he assumed he was out of the running. I
don't know.
don't know. I made the note here. I'm starting to come around on the new theme song a bit for Serious Heel Swerve. I think it's helped now that he's turned heel that like they took out the Who's House thing, and also Nana's not trying to dance to it anymore. I
And
think that helps.
I think it's helped by the fact that they just had a whole feud over this most dangerous man, and that's the new thing, right? Is the dangerous
It is
whatever.
mentioned in the theme song, right?
So I
it
think that
kinda
helped
works.
me a bit.
I agree, yeah, and, like, I think just, like, Nana not trying to force the dance
Yeah.
on it again,
Yeah.
it makes sense, right? So I think the theme I'm coming around. I still don't like it as much as his first one because I think that one was way better.
Yeah, it was perfect.
But this one's fine, I think. Um, he talks about going through a war with Brody, but the only ones who truly win are the ones with power. He enjoyed being Brody in his home state, but he wasn't satisfied because the power in AEW still lies elsewhere, and sometimes it's more valuable than championships. He mentions how the Bucks were in power last year and they cost them a ton at a dynasty, which was that was last year. He says he's no more contender, but what does it mean if he doesn't have the power to protect it? He says Omega has no leverage, and it makes no sense for him to beat Omega twice and get nothing for it. True.
True.
But Omega does have something he wants, and that's his power. He doesn't want Omega removed from power. He wants his power and to block out anyone who thinks they can get it. He says if Omega wants the match, then offer up his EVP status, and when he beats Omega, he will be the new EVP. I thought this was a really strong promo. I liked it. It was heelish, but it was logical. I like that he's making sure he gets something from this, which is kind of your point earlier, and I thought makes total sense. I don't think they will, but I wonder if they'll go down the route of him as a heel.
That was my question.
I don't think they will.
Either. So then my question, then I was like, are they telegraphing this match? Because I really don't think they will do that.
But they could pull a swerve on us.
They could.
But I think it's more likely Omega wins, and I feel like Omega MJF for Dynasty makes sense.
Yeah, and I love too that Swerve's a smart enough heel to be like, I'm not giving you something for nothing, right? In fact, I'm gonna use it as leverage to take something from you.
Yeah, and I think Darby does say he's coming for MJF, right? But I think we'll see later that Darby's going in a different direction for Dynasty, which is again, I think a reason why they wrote off the Gabe Kidd thing so soon is because they're taking him in a different direction. But I still think they should have done it better. But that's whatever.
Yep.
So I think with Darby occupied, I do think we'll get Omega getting his win back here. We do Omega MJF at Dynasty, and then we maybe get the Swerve Omega rubber match at Double or Nothing, maybe.
Yeah, that'd work.
Yeah, I like this. I don't know if you have anything else to add.
No, we've said it all. I liked it too. I thought it was a smart heel doing smart things.
Next, there's a quick interview with Speedball. He says some people you can look at and know they're a star right away. He mentions Kevin Knight and someone else. I don't remember who else he said. But he's had to prove himself over and over and over and believe in himself and wrestle for 20 years to get everyone else to believe in him. He admires people like Omega who started from nothing and worked hard to become champion like he is and believes he can be. He says belief is what makes you a start. Nope.
A star.
And a winner. I like this as a follow-up from last week, kind of a change of pace. It's a really strong promo, really simple, but really strong. I thought this is more Speedball we're used to, right? But because last week he was all frustrated and emotional, but now he's back to kind of zen like he usually is.
Yes.
But it's just really strong, especially for if you were to show this to someone who doesn't really know Speedball, it kind of tells you what he's all about, what his core values are, how he approaches life, right? So I think it just was a really good babyface promo.
And I think it's probably true. I'll bet you he's never been automatically viewed as a star anywhere he's been, right?
Oh, especially because he's mentor shape now, but he used to be like you said, he used to be used to look like your local karate instructor.
And his promo style is unique, and I know a lot of people hate it, but for me, he sounds like a disciplined, reserved martial arts master. He's just, you know what I mean? And I don't have a problem with it. And I thought this was, again, I'm always happy for him getting TV time, especially speaking, because they don't have to do that, right? So I was happy with it.
Agreed. Then we move right into his match against Dunkzilla.
Yep.
Davis time. We get shoulder tackle, body slam, senton for 2 from Davis.
This is where I did make a note that the crowd was silent for Bailey's introduction, which is not normally the case.
Speedball missile dropkick from the middle rope. Series of kicks and running shooting star from Speedball gets only a 1 count. Triangle moonsault to the floor. Falcon arrow swords on the apron from Davis looked really cool. Sit up powerbomb from the corner from 2 for Speedball. Huge shooting star from the top from Speedball for 2. A lot of slaps from Davis, and he lines up for that lariat. Speedball cuts him off with a spinning heel kick. Look perfect. Big lariat and a release powerbomb from Davis for 2. Jumping in, Saguri smashes Speedball with a lariat and then hits that gut wrench pile driver for a 2 count. PK moonsault knee drop from Speedball. Eventually, he nails the corn kick, and we actually get an Ultimate Weapon for the win. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah,
always love an Ultimate Weapon sighting. Really fun match, obviously. A really great styles contrast. Another banger for Speedball with one of the Aussie Open guys.
Yep, and another banger for Davis as well.
Just continues to knock it out of the park.
Yep.
I'm just so happy he's been, even though he's losing, he's been really prominent and more so than I thought he would be after the Doyle team kind of got put on hold.
I think this was my favorite match on this show, if I think about it.
I would say so, yeah.
I really liked in the beginning, it's Bailey hits 1,000 kicks, Davis hits a couple things, and Bailey's flattened, right? Just to show you that contrast of styles.
Yeah,
And then
I agree.
the whole time Bailey's got to hit fast and keep moving, and Davis is just trying to get a hold of him so he can maul him, right? And I just love that. We didn't see it because it was on a commercial, but they came back and they showed a pretty nice X-plex by Davis on the
I
apron.
did see that. Yeah,
It was
yeah.
pretty cool. Both men have been putting on great matches lately, even if neither of them
Davis
win.
has been on like a really underrated run.
They
I
don't
think.
win a ton of the time, especially Davis, but I really enjoyed this. Clearly defined roles.
Mhm.
Each man is super good at the style that they work. I thought an excellent TV match. Davis
Yep.
looks like an absolute mauler, and that means Bailey gets to look like a resilient, undersized babyface, which is great for him. And
Mhm.
Davis is just really, really valuable in this role as a hoss who doesn't have to win, but like is just entertaining every single time. So this is just this is standard Mark Davis stuff at this point, right? And it's great. He's
Mhm.
awesome.
And I think that's a good point you raised too. Is like a lot of times singles matches, neither of those guys win. So I think that's why I was kind of happy to see a singles win for Speedball, which
Yeah,
we
me
don't
too.
usually get. Obviously, Davis is not. Again, another loss for him, which sucks. But
He looked
again,
great.
he's great. He's someone I'd like to see as this year's C2 fall guy.
Yeah,
I think I think that's what we need to see. If we could work it in such a way that we get him versus Fletcher.
especially because they load that field up with a lot of technicians and stuff, right? So him just being there killing people would be cool for sure.
I think he's tailor made for a tournament like that. And personally, seeing Davis wrestle week in, week out. I mean, we've been kind of getting that already, but seeing Davis in singles matches week in, week out would be a joy for
It
me.
would.
And yeah, like if we could work it in such a way where that him and Fletcher are in the same block where we have to like force Aussie Open to fight. I think like we're at the point where that would be a killer singles match.
It would. I mean, you know who's winning, but the match would be awesome.
Hey, there were a lot of upsets last year, so I would not
True.
be surprised
There's always a few.
entirely if Davis managed to beat Fletcher. At
That's
some point.
crazy.
I Speedball beat Fletcher.
True.
Tack beat Fletcher.
True.
I mean, granted, again, they're a little higher on the totem pole than Davis, but again, I still wouldn't have called that. Then we get an MJ promo from after his match at Revolution. He says now he's had the greatest dog collar match, greatest Iron Man match, and greatest Texas Death match in AEW or of all time. And he's the greatest AEW World Champion ever, and they call him Mr. Revolution. He says the adrenaline is wearing off, and he feels it all, but it doesn't matter because he still holds the title. He turns 30 today. He's got about 20 years left, and he's ahead of schedule to be the GOAT with him having accomplished more than most Hall of Famers already. He says only a few men were in his way on his path to being the greatest of all time, and now Hangman was one of them, but he's off the board now, and he'll be in for the next 20 years. He'll be in the mid card where he belongs, as MJF will go down as one of the greatest, and he is going to celebrate at Disney World.
I love this, and it's weird
I also
because
loved it.
it doesn't further anything or create anything. It's just part of it was the choice to have him sweaty, bloody mess sitting on the floor, leaning against like just a cinder block wall, and his head leaving like a mark on this wall. Just the choices they made in how he looked sitting and delivering this promo, I thought added a ton to it. And it's just him talking now that the adrenaline's worn off and he's in a ton of pain, but just like bragging about himself and putting down Hangman. Again, it's not really in service of anything, but I thought it was fantastic. And he was just so believable.
I agree. Like, and I would. It kind of got me thinking when I was thinking my opinion for this match was that I feel like he just kind of seems to excel in these specific types of promos where it's this post match
Yes.
raw reaction type deal. Like in general, he's great on the mic, and we talked about that already. But he seems to excel in these specific types of promos where he's all sweaty and bloody. He's already like out of it. He really tends to knock them out of the park. I remember him doing this after the Briscoe match. Remember we went on hiatus. I thought that was good. I swear he did after the Danielson Iron Man match that he mentioned. But either way, I remember him doing these types of promos numerous times before, and he always seems to like just shine with these. Right? Like I agree. It doesn't exactly further anything new yet, but I really loved it. It's just like something about him
It's
and
kind
the
of
post
like
match. So good.
he's got these like I told you so promos he does after big matches,
Mm.
right? Kind of
Yeah.
like you all doubt me and think I'm a fancy rich boy and whatever, but here I am, you know.
And
It
like I
was great.
said, the post match promo work both ways because he did one after he lost to Briscoe. So either way, he's just really good. Like whenever it comes to doing it after a match, it just seems to really work for him, right?
Yep. He was
I
great
think in
here.
general, it's a lot of fun to do because I always liked when they would do these post-match promos. They did them a lot. They always do them during the C2. They'll just only post them on Instagram. But like I find myself watching a lot of those as well.
And again, just the visual, it's almost like he collapsed there with the belt, right? And he couldn't even find a place to sit or whatever. He's just sitting on the dirty carpet against a bare wall. I thought it was a really cool choice.
I agree. I liked it. Then we get a quick Don Callis family promo. It's just Okada and RPG Vice. Or Roppongi Vice. I still don't like saying RPG Vice.
That's fair.
It's just
I don't like seeing them. My first note is Okada is great. Please stop surrounding him with these guys.
Yeah, Okada laughs at the Bucks calling him family. Trent disses the bus. Okada says he's only loyal to one family. Unlike Takeshita, who's shaking hands with Moxley, they're gonna take a win and yada yada yada. This is fine. I don't give a crap about Roppongi Vice. I don't. But Okada just brings me so much joy.
Every little thing Takeshita does, right, is under a microscope with Okada. Like you're shaking hands with Death Riders now, right? Yeah. So that's a problem for him, and he's just constantly out to get Takeshita. And again, because of Okada's status, they let him. Nobody calls him on it because he's Okada.
I mean, who's gonna call him out on Roppongi Vice?
Right. So Okada's super entertaining as always. The other two don't need him.
Everything. Yeah. Then we get Mina Shirakawa in place of Toni Storm versus Marina Shafir in a no holds barred match. We get backstage footage showing of Storm. She's unconscious in their locker room. We get Mina came down with a barbed wire bat, I think it was.
And right? Shafir seems to be taking credit for Storm. At least commentary weren't 100%
really,
sure.
She's like, oh, I might have done it, I might not. Like she's not really like sitting on the fence. Really.
Feels like if it's WWE, I would 100% be like, they don't know who it is yet. They're gonna decide later. And maybe AEW is the same. I don't know.
But maybe it's Shayna Baszler.
Could be. Imagine.
Yeah. I mean, one can dream. Mina pulls out a bucket with bottles of champagne in it. She grabs a bottle. Shafir disarms her and hits a Uranagi. Tilt-a-whirl facebuster for Mina on the chair. Diving sling blade onto a chair for 2. Chop exchange on the apron. Shafir is a back suplex off the apron through a table. Mina barely clipped the table, though.
Yes. I was worried about her on that, actually.
Yeah. The finish comes. Mina cracks a champagne bottle over Shafir's head and breaks. Spinning back fist, Storm 0. Mina gets the win. I'm going to bust out the Old Faithful here. It was fine.
It was fine. And I think that obviously Mina's put in this as an audible. So, and then commentary.
Was it an audible? I'm not sure. And if it is an audible, I'll cut them some slack.
And commentary tried to get us into the whole like, Mina's out of her comfort zone. This isn't her style of match, but she's motivated because her friend got taken out. And that Shafir's been planning for the match, and it was a surprise for Mina. But anyway, so I was surprised she won for starters.
Me too.
The table spot looked very dangerous. The bottle shot looked really good. I said the same thing. It was a fine match, I guess, in a late change, probably.
Not terrible, but it was just like, I don't know. For a no holds bar match, I feel like not a ton was done. At least Mina got the win, so good for her. And thankfully no Rousey.
Yeah.
But also weird that she wasn't mentioned a lot.
I know. I don't know where we're going with it, but it was fine, as you said.
Yeah, I don't like. There's not a lot to say about this one, I feel like. Then we get a quick Andrade interview. He still wants the world title, but then John Cruz comes in with a briefcase from MJF. Callis is there via phone. He says he needs Andrade to do this business for MJF. Andrade is not thrilled about working for MJF, but Callis keeps calling him his money man, so he needs him to do it. MJF's paying them off to take out Darby, and Andrade is the guy to do it, I guess. And Cruz gives Andrade money. I think Andrade Darby could be a sick match because Andrade is already nuts, and Darby's gonna make him look even better.
Yes.
And like, it's just, I could see Darby as being like one of those guys that MJF sees as being in his way.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised he doesn't want to deal with it. So it works, and it's like, I think it's a decent way to stall Darby. I again would have just extended the Gabe Kidd feud, but I don't mind this. Andrade Darby's a unique match to get. So if we're gonna not do the Gabe Kidd thing anymore, this is a decent compromise.
And if you ever need to, Andrade can take issue with Callis just hiring him out, right? Without really consulting him, just assuming you're part of my group. Yeah. You're gonna do this for money.
Yeah, a thing that reoccurs, right? Like I could see them Callis hiring, or like allowing them to be hired again, and like maybe this is something that turns Fletcher or Andrade or
if Andrade's $100,000, how much can we get? I would say we could get RPG Vice for like $50, probably.
I think but like $50 is the package deal though.
Like get both of them. Yeah,
$50, and I get Trent and Rocky to like go beat up like the frat house or something.
Wasn't Andrade the rich guy paying people to do stuff previously?
I don't know if he was paying people to do stuff, but he was running like the OFO. He had
Right.
the Hardy Family office,
Right.
or on the Andrade.
So at the end of the
office.
day, like, it gives Andrade a cool opponent. Callis is a jerk, so he's going to do stuff like this to make money. And it's
Makes
on
money.
brand for MJF to throw money at his problems as well and try to avoid Darby Allin. So it
I
all
agree.
makes
Yeah,
sense.
it works.
Yeah.
Then we get a main event, which is Perry and the Bucks against Okada and freaking Roppongi.
Main
guys.
eventers in 2026. Rocky Romero. Come on now.
And now we also find ourselves in one of those situations I complained about when the belt was introduced. We have the national champion and international champion in the same like match here. That's stupid.
I didn't even notice, but I guess you're
Which
right.
one? Who holds which belt? Go.
Jack Perry is the... Wait.
It's one of the national ones. It's either national or international.
Perry is national.
There you go.
Yes.
Good job. You did
50-50. I mean, 50-50.
It was 50-50.
Nailed it.
Yeah, so like that's stupid. That's dumb. I don't like it.
Wait, who has... So who's the Continental then?
Oh my, we just talked about the pay-per-view too. It's like,
it's fine.
Terrible that you don't remember
keep
this
going.
already.
It'll come.
It's Moxley.
Oh, right. And Takeshita didn't win it. That's right.
No, and Fletcher's the last one.
Gotcha.
The TNT title.
It's
so sad that you don't know this. When we like just watched the pay-per-view, we saw Fletcher have his belt last. Like,
it's all details that I don't need to know, you know?
It's all like recent though. It's not even like,
it's okay.
Like a goldfish could probably remember this.
I am a goldfish, so
a little bit. A wrestling goldfish.
With my AVR.
But you'll remember like what disc does what.
Yeah, I will. The flight numbers on this disc, absolutely.
Okada tries to do the elite gesture with the faces, but gets taken out. Then the Bucks clear out Roppongi Vice. Orihara moonsault to the floor from Perry. Nick Jackson hot tag flurry. Nick Jackson hot tags are not what they used to be. I'll tell you that much.
Wow.
Still like still fine, but it's just like not what they used to be.
Yeah.
When he was like kicking all over the place and like just jumping about the joint. Locomotion, Northern Lights suplex from Matt. Stereo elbow drop, Swanton bomb, and opposite corners from the Bucks on the Vice guys. Back and forth between the Bucks and RPG Vice. Actually, I thought that was kind of fun, like the strikes back and forth.
Yep.
The Roppongi guys look solid there. Stereo sharpshooters from the Bucks while Perry locks Okada in the snare trap. Eventually, the holds are broken. Then the Bucks went for a Meltzer driver. Okada caught Nick midair with a dropkick. Not perfect, but it was solid. Romero hits a slice spread to Perry, then Trent with a shotgun knee to Matt. Roppongi Vice hits strong 0 to Matt for a near fall. Perry breaks the pin. Cal Swimman look for stereo tombstone. The Bayfaces bite them in the crotches to get out. And then triple super kick to Romero, BT trigger, glass Johnny from Perry, and the Bayfaces get the win. After the match, the Bucks cut a promo, and Nick says at Revolution they were so sure of themselves that they brought their family out to watch them, and they let them down. They can admit FTR were the better team on Sunday, and Matt says they went to his birthday party and couldn't look anyone in the eye, but their father pumped them back up. He says if they have to scratch and claw their way back up, they will, and there's not a team who can prevent them from getting the titles for a fourth time. Basically on cue, that's when Cope and Christian come out. Copeland says they respect the hell out of the Bucks, but they're too good to be embarrassed, and he praises the match from Revolution. He says he can relate because they attacked his wife like they attacked the Jackson family. He says they need to rectify the situation. The way to do that is to take what FTR value most, which is the tag titles. He says they respect the Bucks. So they want to know that they have a title match at Revolution, or not Revolution, Dynasty. And Cage says the situation is deeply personal for Cope and the Bucks, and it's personal for him too because winning the titles means he makes a ton of extra money.
Mm-hmm.
And they get to prove the best team of their generation and this generation. So I like that because it keeps Christian he's still the asshole character.
Yes.
FTR's music hits and they come out. Stokely tries to speak immediately gets told to shut up by Matt and Copeland. FTR run down to the ring for a brawl. Right away, Cash eats a double super kick. Dax eats a spear from Copeland and a low blow to Cash from Cage. And the Bucks and Cope and Christian both kind of grab the belts, and we get like a bit of a stare down. The Bucks let go and exit the ring, and then there's just kind of a stare down.
Yep. Everyone wants the tag belt, similar to everyone wants the main belt, which is fine.
I like what they're. Yeah.
The match was fun, trios match for sure, but definitely did not feel like a Dynamite main event.
Solid match, but a lame main event, right?
Two-thirds of one team being C-listers in no universe are they main eventers, and they're
totally fine with having the Bucks in like a fun trios match at the end of the show. so you can get them out there to end the show on this segment. Because I thought the ending segment was a solid one to end it on.
Mhm.
But could we not have picked anyone from the Don Callis segment with even like a little more star power than
Agree.
Roppongi Vice? Like, could it
Hechicero.
not have been Alexander or Hechicero or Takeshita if you want to like further the Okada thing a bit? Or did I say clone? Because I probably meant to say clone too. Or like, I don't know, just not Roppongi Vice,
And I
and
feel
also
like the
not
president of the presence of Roppongi Vice sort of telegraphed the outcome as
I
well.
feel like the outcome would have been there anyways, so might as well give me something a little more worthwhile.
And again, if I'd paid to attend this show, I would be slightly annoyed that this was the main event I got. Not going to lie to you.
I agree.
Copeland and Christian coming out was not surprising. I wish that Christian was even more of a prick and that Edge was doing the whole, like, he's a prick, but he's my prick kind of thing. I wish Christian would still come out insulting everybody, flaming everybody.
I would like them to dial it up a bit
Just
more,
because I miss
absolutely.
it, because it was some of my favorite.
It was the best character
stuff.
work, I think. Yeah. I like the promo too. Like, nothing insane, but makes sense since FTR been like on a heel run of a lifetime. Obviously, they're racking up enemies here. And like, I did enjoy the Cope and Christian match from Toronto with
Yep,
FTR.
me too.
So I'm kind of interested in a rematch. I hope it'd be good. And wouldn't surprise me if the old timers get one more run. And as a non-nostalgia guy, I don't think I'd hate it. Like, I'm kind of here for it, like I said. Like, they're not the worst part-timers in the world, so I'm kind of open to it. And I imagine at some point this year, maybe at All In or Double or Nothing, we get like a three-way ladder match or a TLC type match between these three teams, because I think the Bucks are as close to prime hires as you're going to get these days.
Mhm.
And I'm kind of here for that too. I think that could be a cool match for the belts.
And I want the tag division to just be hot. So if Edge and Christian being in there elevates the whole division, whether I'm a huge fan of them or not, I think it's worth it. So I think,
I agree.
Yeah. I did not love this Dynamite. I thought it was below average.
I do think it was a lackluster one.
After an amazing pay-per-view, I think this was just a little bit of a hangover, which happens sometimes.
There were good things like the speedball match, the swerve promo. I liked the one tag match.
MJF promo was great.
MJF also great. Speedball had a good solid promo. Like, there were things to like here. I thought like the ending segment was good. Even the main event was a fine match. It's just having Roppongi Vice is a terrible idea.
And the coffin match was disappointing for me. The women's match was an audible that ended up being fine. The Death Riders tag match, you liked it more than I did. I thought way more misses than an average Dynamite. So I went C+. I wasn't a huge fan, but still, it's never bad. Like, I never feel like I wasted my time.
I wasn't that negative on it. I think it's just above the C range for me.
Okay, I think that's fair.
Yeah, definitely an oddly weak one, because considering the strong year they've had.
Amazing run of Dynamite. So I think it'll be a blip on the radar and it'll be back to being great. They just maybe need to gather themselves after a major pay-per-view.
I agree. I think it's just an off night.
It's a lot of moving parts and a lot of new people and returning people, right, to get organized. So I'm confident that they'll figure it out. All right. A break from analysis, switch into trivia segment where I'm going to quiz you on whatever I feel like this week. We call it Off the Top of His Head. All right, so this week, because we're heading into WrestleMania season, or we're already there, or whatever, I went with what is called WrestleMania First. And I like the topic and the questions as long as they're right, which who the hell knows, but you'll tell me because you tend to know more than AI does. So, first time ever at WrestleMania. I have options if you need them. You probably won't. But anyways, which WrestleMania? This is so stupid. Here's the first question. You ready? This one's really hard. You're going to have to dig deep. Which WrestleMania featured the first ever WrestleMania event? Don't even answer it, stupid.
No, that's so
dumb.
Terribly worded.
Let's start with number 2. This one's better. At which WrestleMania did the first ladder match take place?
10.
Who was it?
Razor and Shawn.
That one's pretty easy. Even I might not have guessed 10, but I knew exactly which one it was. I just wouldn't know the year. Which WrestleMania featured the first Iron Man match?
12.
Wow, yes. And it was?
And Shawn.
Yep, very famous as well. First Money in the Bank ladder match.
21.
Sorry?
21.
Who was in it?
Edge, Christian, Jericho, Kane, Benoit, Benjamin.
Wow, who won?
Edge.
Correct. Which WrestleMania had the first women's championship match? This is one of the harder ones because I thought it was going to be way more modern than it was. I'll say that. You want
15?
your options?
15?
Sorry?
15?
No, way too late. 1, 2, 3, or 4.
Oh wait, no, it was 1.
Who was it?
Was it? It's Richter and Leilani Kai.
Correct. You got it.
Okay. For some reason, I thought because I know there was a drought of women's title
Yes,
matches. So
I forgot it was.
I thought it wasn't even one at the first one. I forgot there was.
There was. Which WrestleMania featured the first women's main event?
35.
Which was who? Speaking of which,
Rousey, Lynch, Flair.
good. Which WrestleMania was the first held outside the United States?
Would it be 6?
It would be. Which was where?
I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, Toronto.
I think aren't those the only international manias aside from I guess we'll get Saudi next year, but
I think
I know
so.
6 and 18 are Toronto.
It's never been
But
anywhere
that
else.
might
I don't.
be it, I think.
Which WrestleMania featured the first TLC style match?
If we're saying style, it's 2000. Yeah,
Correct.
that was a triangle ladder match.
Correct.
If it's actually TLC, then it'd be X7.
First WWE Championship tournament.
4.
Correct. Who won it?
Savage.
Who did he beat in the finals?
Yeah. See.
My goodness. See, his son was found not guilty of fraud.
Yeah. I don't know if I believe that.
I don't know if I believe it either, but anyways. Which WrestleMania featured the first time the WWE Championship changed hands? It's a good question.
5.
Okay.
Hogan Savage. We're counting 4 because
That's what I was hoping you would get to. They are saying 4. Why?
okay, then that's fair because it was vacant.
Correct. And who won?
Savage.
Correct.
We just went over that. But for me, changing hands, I guess
It wasn't in hands to go to hands.
what I'm
I agree.
saying, right?
Just
That's
sitting
why
there. I agree.
I was thinking about technically the first one where someone lost the title is 5 because Savage held it for a year, lost it to Hogan.
That's why I gave you the pregnant pause because I figured you would
So
interpret
it's
what that meant.
yeah, sure. The first one where someone won the title, yes, but changed hands implies someone lost the title.
I agree. Changed hands means it went from the hands of someone else to the hands of someone new.
The wording matters.
I agree. Words matter. First time 2 Royal Rumble winners faced each other. Interesting if this is correct.
Let me think for a second.
Go ahead. Think all you like. I'll just.
So, are we
talk.
talking in the main event?
It doesn't say that. It just says first.
Okay, so I'm gonna assume that they're meaning first time 2 people who have won the Rumble are facing in a title match. I would assume, right?
I don't think so.
What do you think it is?
I think it was the winner of 2 successive years facing each other.
So let's say, for example,
Okay.
Michaels wins in 96, Austin wins in 97. You're saying they face each other?
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Is it them?
No.
Okay. Brett and Yoko?
No.
Because
wait, was there even?
No, because that one would work too because Yoko won in 93 and Brett Luger won in 94. So that one would work for Mania X10 or not X10. Sorry.
When
10.
was the first Royal Rumble?
88.
Okay, so this is possible.
No, or 87.
Okay.
87 or 88, I think. No, it was.
So they're saying it was before what you just suggested.
88 then. Okay.
If this is even right. Do you want there's multiple choice options.
Yeah.
WrestleMania 5, 6, 7, or 8?
Does it say what the match is?
No. Well, it says, who the 2 people are in the match.
Because I don't. Sorry, I'm trying to think of because 7. I'm thinking the title match and none of them make sense.
I don't think this is correct. Who won the Royal Rumble in 89?
Stud.
Okay, so it's wrong. Who won it in 90?
Hogan.
Okay, so that's right. They were saying WrestleMania 6, Hogan taking on the Warrior.
No, because Warrior didn't win the Rumble.
Right, so I thought it was flawed. First WrestleMania with brand versus brand match.
The first one I can think of is Michaels and Angle was interpromotional at 21. But
they are saying there was one before that, if they're not wrong.
I couldn't possibly imagine what brand. Brand versus brand is not usually happening at Mania.
What this isn't even. It says Brock Lesnar SmackDown versus Kurt Angle, SmackDown champ, but brand division context often cited as early No,
that's
never mind.
What?
That's dumb. First time a celebrity main evented.
The first one, Mr. T.
True. They didn't count him, I guess.
Who else would we? Are we talking Lawrence Taylor?
Yes.
No.
What one was that?
That was 11.
Yeah.
And then Mr. T's the first one.
First Intercontinental Championship match.
Valentine Junkyard Dog. First one.
Correct. First time The Undertaker competed.
Mania 7 with Snuka.
Correct. Beginning the streak.
91, I think.
First empty arena WrestleMania.
36. It's also the only one.
Correct. First time a women's match main evented night 1 of a 2-night.
Belair Banks, 37.
Correct. And I think the last one featured the first time WrestleMania was held over 2 nights.
36.
Correct. Because of COVID restrictions. Good. That was kind of fun. All right. That wraps that up. We'll go into the last little bit talking about wrestling. It'll be NXT. And then I don't know if you have any Raw or SmackDown well, no SmackDown yet. I guess it's happening right now.
I think it'd be over just now.
But we call it Highspots and Restholds. I am totally out to lunch on anything Raw this week, so I don't know if you noticed anything that happened.
I was like, I'm trying to. I honestly
getting easier and easier for me not to follow it as time goes by.
Other than like the Oba Brock thing, I think.
Yeah, which we kind of mentioned in a roundabout way. So, so I'll take a look at NXT then this week. Again, some notable stuff happening on this show. We had Jacy Jayne in the opener, retaining the NXT Women's Championship by defeating Zarya and Sol Ruca in the triple threat, obviously. One scary spot, Ruca went for a dive over the ropes and sort of skimmed the ropes, but had enough momentum.
I feel like I saw that, but I'm having trouble recalling.
Still managed to carry herself. It was a bit short, but it wasn't as dangerous. It could have been worse for sure. The finish, we get a soul snatcher to Jacy Jayne. Zarya pulls Ruca off the cover and right out of the ring. Zarya gives Sol an F5 on the floor that looked pretty good, and then sort of sends Ruca back into the ring. But before Zarya can follow up, Lainey Reed and Fallon Henley get involved. So Zarya knocks Reed down, hits an F5 to Henley on the floor, which would play into things later. And as Zarya is dealing with the other members out on the floor, Jacy Jayne just manages to drape her left arm over Sol Ruca, who is still feeling the effects of the F5 on the floor. So Jacy Jayne picks up the win there. I thought this was a good triple threat, and I like that the issues between Zarya and Ruca affect the outcome of the match. And it kind of allows like the sneaky heel to get a win that she doesn't really deserve, which is also makes a lot of sense here. I don't think the Ruca Zarya story needs the title around it. It's been so long and so, I don't know, developed isn't even the right word because it's just kind of been at a certain point for a really long time, but now it's moving. I don't think it needs to be for the title. And Jane can move on to face, I'm assuming, Kendall Gray at Stand and Deliver. And I feel like you're muted or something.
Sorry, I was eating something.
That's okay. I feel like...
You think Gray is the way to go?
I think she's gonna face Jane and maybe win at Stand and Deliver.
I could see that.
And then I feel like maybe Ruca and Zayn head to main roster Mania season kind of thing. After they love to have call ups after Mania. So I think maybe one or both of them go up. Although I've been wrong multiple times on people moving up lately, so who knows? And then in a segment later, Jacy Jayne is happy about retaining her title, while Henley's disappointed about losing hers, which will come up a little bit later. And then Reed and Fallon Henley will take on Kendall Gray and Ren Sinclair next week, and Jane is happy that maybe they'll soften up Kendall Gray for her. So looks like that's where we're going. Ricky Saints coming off one of the worst segments of the year. What was that, a couple weeks ago? So he comes out to the ring to speak, and first of all, he slips off the ropes as he's trying to do one of his poses. He kind of tries to save it. I think his first line was something about Ricky Saints slips, but he never falls, which was kind of okay considering. Yeah. He does get wutted, though, as he starts speaking. I took that the crowd is kind of turning on him like I have, that he's not getting heel heat, right? That was
another thing with Dynamite because they were wutting a couple times.
They did
what?
Swerve,
I thought was weird. I did not like that.
I feel like Saints is starting to get like go away heat and not heel heat, which is kind of how I feel. And he says to save, what does he say? I guess his way of making a joke was when the crowd was whatting him was to say save the what's for Miles Bourne because deaf. Everyone's on board with mocking the guy's disability,
I mean,
including him.
Yeah, right.
So
Like,
I guess he says he being Saint, sorry, back on the same page with Ethan Page because they know how to pivot. The tag roster is safe because Ricky and Ethan are focused on singles gold. Ethan is on his way to becoming a 2-time NXT North American champion, and Ricky is on his way to becoming a 2-time NXT champion. Ethan Page comes out, points out that he was the one who pinned Joe Hendry in their tag match, so sort of hinting that he wants to go after the NXT title. You can clearly see that Saints is not on board with this. Joe Hendry comes out. He says that maybe Ricky doesn't have what it takes to get the job done like Ethan does, which I think it's kind of weird for the face to come out and like side with one heel over the other one.
I guess he's just trying to pit them together, though, right?
And drive a wedge. Yeah, and I agree with him, so I'm also okay from that perspective. Ethan and Ricky faced each other at Stand and Deliver last year, so maybe they can do something similar this year. So Saints points out he won that match. He and Page sort of bicker a little bit, and then they, in unison, attack Joe Hendry. And Hendry gets the better of both of them, and then Tony D comes out and takes out all three of them. So, why would I believe that Ricky Saints or Ethan Page have a shot when they couldn't take out Joe Hendry 2-on-1 after a sneak attack? You know what I mean?
He took a vanity project by himself the one time, pretty much.
I don't get this. I thought the point was the heel's supposed to be outnumbered and he's going to have to be resilient and fight. But when he just takes out the two guys by himself when they sneak attack him, that's all wiped away. And now it's like,
and their master plan is just
these
like
heels already got their comeuppance. Why do I need to see, you know what I mean, anything more? And then Tony D walks in and kills all three of them. So I thought it just made Page and Saints look weak ahead of what looks like, I mean, maybe they're leaning towards a 4-way here for Stand and Deliver.
I think that could be it. Yeah,
maybe.
Then, like, you use that match to pit Saints and
right
Eagle against each other.
They kind of neutralize each other with the issues they're having.
Yeah, I guess Henry wins it, or like, do you really want to go Tony D?
And then Hendry's a main roster guy too. Feels like it, right? I don't know.
I guess.
They have to justify. I feel like they're going to justify all the time they've put into Tony D by making sure he has a title run. However, I feel about it.
They've already given him basically every other belt under the sun. Like,
yeah,
he held the North American title because he's the one to Boba. I forgot.
Yes.
And then he also, when he had the Heritage Cup when that was still around.
He did.
Technically, Stax still holds it.
That's right.
And then he was tag champs with Stax for a bit, right?
That's right.
They want to give him all of it.
Grand Slam winner. I texted you. I feel like in a lot of these segments, Ricky Saints is getting exposed by having to speak and act beside Ethan Page because Ethan Page is so good and so believable that Saints comes across as like a high school drama student who's not really nailing the part kind of thing to me.
I did see bits of this, and like, it's very clear the difference,
I think so. In a later segment with Robert Stone, Ethan Page volunteers Saints to take care of Tony D in a match next week. Saints is clearly not impressed, so he's like, oh, it's going to be awesome because my buddy Ethan Page is going to be in my corner for this match, and you can see that Page is not impressed with that either. I see where it's going. I don't mind the story. I'm just kind of out on Ricky Saints in a nutshell for all of that. Regal is talking to Robert Stone, and I thought this was weird too because it's like, I really like what you're doing as interim GM, and he's like, oh, that's an honor hearing from you, and he's like, I'm going to go talk to Shawn Michaels about you becoming the permanent GM. So heel Regal comes back to help form a heel faction, but still has some sort of weight over babyface Shawn Michaels.
I guess it's just like because his name holds weight because he was GM for a while.
I guess that's where they're going. And I guess I'm hoping that this is a play so that he can manipulate Stone later. You know what I mean? That's what I'm hoping.
Would be interesting, yeah.
Like he gets him the permanent job and then is like, well, now you've got to do this and this and get the birthright, some whatever they need. Anyways.
I really don't understand the point of him being interim at all, but
I don't either. Like, you got somebody else on the horizon, you taking interviews? Like, I don't know. I thought we got a very fun trios match. I haven't really gotten to see Los Americanos, right? So they defeated the Vanity Project in a 13-minute trio. I call it trios. I guess they would call it a 6-man tag. I am struggling to believe that is Pete Dunne.
It is Pete Dunne.
If it weren't for him doing an X-Plex, I would not have recognized a thing. And I think
I can tell a bit from the face. I know it's Pete Dunne now.
I think it's a compliment to him because he's completely changed his style.
I don't like that.
Right? It's not the joint manipulation. It's more like lucha style. It's pretty,
it's impressive he can do that.
It's a credit to him.
Sad.
Yeah.
It's just sad that this is what he's doing.
So the Vanity Project isolate Rio. Rio?
I think it's Rio.
Whatever. Lots of moving parts leading up to the finish where El Grande Americano has the loaded mask and headbutts Ricky Smokes for the win. I thought it was really fun. Again, I don't get to see Los Americanos. And
does Americano even do the loaded headbutt, though? Because from what I saw, it just looked like he did a shitty running headbutt.
He loaded it up. There was a big, which I thought was interesting because he's a babyface. But yeah, there was a big...
This one's not a babyface. This one's a babyface in Mexico.
But not here? The crowd seemed to act like they were baby faces.
I don't know, maybe,
and they were facing the biggest heels in the company.
They haven't been baby faces in the States, so it's weird. They're like, it's like, you know how like Lawler in the 90s was a heel in WWE, but like baby face in Memphis is like that.
I've seen that.
In AAA, it's weird. Gable's original Americano is a heel in Mexico, but the baby face here, and then Kaiser is the baby face in Mexico. But
I heard that Bartel is like beloved down there.
Yeah.
Because he's learning Spanish and stuff, right? That they love him. I saw him get presented with an amazing jacket somebody made him.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they love him.
That's cool.
Like,
he's great.
And so funny because like on Raw he'll wear black because he's like the heel one, and then in Mexico original Americano will like wear a black.
Interesting.
So it's like, it's so weird. It's like one of those things where it's just strange.
Vanity Project continue to impress. They're a group that doesn't seem hurt by losses, and the fans kind of want them to lose because they're such D-bags. So they can just win important matches when they need to. And they're young, but again, they're actual wrestlers. So it's like they are so much more polished and so far ahead of like NIL signings and stuff like that. I know I say it all the time, but it's very evident. Sean Legacy is injured. He's on crutches. Robert Stone tells Eli Knight, who's there with him, that Knight either needs to find a new partner or be removed from the tag team tournament. They happen to be standing there with Elio LaFleur, so he volunteers to be Knight's partner. I'm disappointed Legacy's hurt. I feel like he and Eli Knight could have been like a jet speed tag team, and not just because it's like a black guy and a white guy, but because it's like similar.
Not just because this guy's like they're Kevin Knight.
Similar styles. But LaFleur,
like you could do a similar idea with LaFleur though.
You can, and he's cool too, but he's already supposed to be the speed guy and whatever.
Yeah,
so
we all know it doesn't matter. It's fine.
We'll see how it goes. We get the Booker T tribute. It's a bunch of nonsense, and as I expected, it's just to set up a Keanu Carver interruption. He comes out, tells the crowd to shut up, takes out some officials that are trying to stop him, and then Jasper Troy clotheslines Carver over the top to the floor and stands with Booker, and Booker is like upset that this is all happening on his night or whatever. I watch the show every week, and I would like a clearer line drawn to Carver and Booker T and Jasper Troy. It's Carver keeps saying, "Tell your boy to keep his name out of my mouth," and I can't remember a time when his name was in his mouth.
Yeah.
So I need recaps or a reminder.
Don't you usually make everything like painfully clear?
Yes. So I don't know what's going on here.
You're asking for it.
It's quite possible it's my fault for just not remembering anything ever.
That's true.
But
that is
their demographic that they get, not the one they want. Apparently NXT's audience skews old. So they need to like take care of me. You know what I mean? Apparently their demographic that actually watches the show is like the opposite of what they want. They want the 18 to whatever.
I don't know who's watching CW. I mean, hey, maybe there's more people who think like Booker T, where he's like salivating or Stephanie Vaquer. And
it's so gross.
I saw like, so there's like, he does stuff like that, or like Lola Vice, right? But then he called the Texas Deathmatch in poor taste.
Yes, I know. Whereas he's drooling over women 30, 40 years younger than him.
And then I look at the comments of the one post and like the Fed heads trying to defend him. Like, you can like I understand if you're getting grossed up at Texas Death and whatever, and like that can not be your cup of tea or whatever, but like at least he's not like it's gross, but it's not like weird. And Booker T's like weird, and it's like feels like morally like questionable.
And they're getting, I don't think any of them were ever like organic, but they're getting less organic now. Like he's literally trying to shoehorn. He does a thing for Joe Hendry's song now that's super obnoxious.
I went for Lola Vice. Like Parker when she does like the step up thing.
Oh, I'm sure. Right?
Like stuff like that. It's just like it's just so and it doesn't serve a purpose. At least the Texas Death, there's like a reason for it being so violent and everything. It's just
Well,
Like, it's not.
Vaquer gives him credit for like getting her over with that.
It did help, but honestly, like, it's if that's how you get over,
And I think, I mean, that's not a good way to stay popular, right? By just having Booker T scream things when you're doing a move that could be interpreted as a sexual move, and he's like groaning, and it's weird to me too. Ren Sinclair becomes the women's speed champion. She beats Fallon Henley with the final wrench, less than 4 minutes. The idea that Henley's shoulder was taped up after the F5 on the floor from Zari in the opener, so cattle mutilation obviously leads to a quick submission, makes sense. I like shifting the title to Ren. She deserves some attention. Not that this title really means anything and I can't stand it, but Fallon Henley is a very solid in-ring worker. She is doing nothing with that title and nothing in general.
What do you do with that title, though?
I know.
Like, saying nothing, doing with nothing with the title usually means something, but when it's this title, it's like, I kind of expect you to do nothing.
So my hope is, since the men's one seems to become, minus Jasper Troy, kind of like the flippy guy title, she could just start showcasing submissions and stuff and just making people tap out.
Submissions don't lend themselves to quick matches, so it's where the concept starts to fall apart again.
I don't know what's going to happen,
Again,
but
the concept is generally
terrible.
a terrible idea for TV. It's stupid.
Yes.
Like, if they didn't have to deal with Twitter, they should have moved to like Instagram, or even just on YouTube Shorts, or just axe it. They should just.
It shouldn't be on TV. It's an app thing, sure. Internet thing, sure. This doesn't make sense.
Not made for TV.
But I'm happy for Ren because she's cool and people seem to like her. So giving her a little bit of something is good for her. The Birthright pick up a quick win over Hank and Tank. Hank and Tank are doing their high impact smash mouth stuff. Lexis King's involvement and then a blind tag leads to Connors successfully rolling up Hank and Tank. They hit their finisher to the other guy, and then Connors ends up sneaking a roll up for the win. And it was all it needed to be. Undersized heels in a newly formed faction, using shenanigans to beat a bigger, more experienced team. So still odd to see Stax because he was the other guy in this match. Like, I just don't get him being there. But
I would have done, like,
other than that, it all made sense.
To be kind of the ringleader, wouldn't you do Connors and Dempsey? So it's like, since they were the ones with the two dads that are there.
I think it sounds like there's plans for Dempsey to do something else. So maybe
I guess Team North American. Well,
possibly.
None of them are really world titles, so
no, not at all. But
that's the thing.
We get a fight breaks out outside the building. It's Dark States, Lennox, Sugars, and Osiris Griffin, minus Cutler, who I think they should just release that guy. No offense to him. I don't like to see anyone lose his job, but I don't know what the hell he's doing there. He's terrible. On the mic, I actually want him to stay because he's so bad, and just let him talk every week so he can win worst of. But so they're beating up the OTM guys. Lucian Price, your boy, gets thrown onto some tables off of a ramp or whatever it was, and Sugars kicks Nima's head into the side of a trailer. Dark States stand tall, and I really wish I cared about this, but I don't. They're trying to make both these teams look interesting, and it's not working. OTM have a cool look, but not much else. And Dark State's just been a slow decline since being jammed down our throats as this dominant heel faction that they're just not, right? So, and then, where was Cutler? I don't know, but he wasn't here.
Maybe saying too much weird stuff.
Maybe it's like, listen, we can't have a white guy in this. This is all black guys now. You can't be in there. I don't know. Who knows what they're thinking. Tatum Paxley's backstage. Thea Hale's talking to her. They're doing some babyface bonding ahead of Paxley's cage match in the main event. Paxley leaves. Kalani Jordan comes in and gives Hale some heel advice, like, I was once like you and I was doing everything for everyone else and I needed to be more selfish. Jada Parker comes in to defend Hale, but Hale wants to defend herself. And I almost caught a glimpse of, like, Jada Parker did not appreciate being told, like, I don't need you to do this for me. I don't know if that was supposed to be there, but I kind of like it from Parker because I like her with edge. Hale says she'll make Kalani Jordan tap out next week. So
nobody does it like Lonnie, though.
I've been saying Hale's a bit directionless lately, so maybe she'll start doing something. I also thought it was weird because she was wearing like a Hale whiskey t-shirt, and I'm like, is she even old enough to drink in the States?
I think she's 22.
So yeah, she is then. Robert Stone is talking to Miles Bourne about a gauntlet match to find a contender for the North American title. Lexis King walks in, and since Birthright will be taking over the tag division, they may as well take over the North American division as well. So Stone should do the right thing because, after all, it is their birthright. And this is where I'm hoping it's Dempsey and not Lexus King being given this opportunity. King
I would
as the figurehead and mouthpiece, I think, is fine right now. But he's not the best in ring, right? So Dempsey's much more interesting to me in ring, and I like Dempsey in the North American slot, to be honest. Great news for everybody. Sexy Red will be appearing at Stand and Deliver.
God, I forgot about her.
I am shocked to hear she's relevant still.
I don't know that she is.
Oh, good point. I am not one to judge.
I don't like then.
And I think you're right. The fact that you're involved in NXT does not mean you are pop culture relevant.
Yes, I barely heard of her. And I barely knew she was relevant when she first appeared. So like, she could be CW relevant,
I guess.
Yes,
I guess.
But that's like saying like Netflix people pop up on Raw,
and I don't know who any of them are.
Yeah.
The main event, it's Tatum Paxley. She retains the North American title after defeating Izzy Dame once again, this time in a cage match. Match-wise, totally fine. Kind of felt like a regular match in a cage.
I don't like when matches are like that.
So they did a spot where they stood on the ropes and rammed each other's heads into the cage for a really long time. Too long, in my opinion. Then they had a spot where they were both sitting on the top of the cage, hitting each other, and it ended up with Izzy Dame. You know when it's a superplex, and yes, Paxley's coming off the top of the cage, but Dame's coming off the top, so it's exactly the same impact as a normal superplex, but they can say it's off the top of the cage, but it's not.
Yeah. Because like it's basically, for all intents and purposes, from the same height.
So you're pulling Paxley off the cage, but you're yourself still on the top rope, so it's the same impact. But anyways, they did that.
So stupid.
A chair's involved in the finish. Paxley tosses it to Dame and then spin kicks the chair into her face and then cemetery drive, and Paxley wins in 12 minutes. So like,
I swear I saw a different name for a finisher. I think we might have been wrong.
I think I'm right because I actually made a note of it this time.
I thought we were right, but then
I think we're right. So this felt like a lesser match than at Vengeance Day, and I thought that match was going to end their feud. Trap. So they did like a
Psycho Trap.
A Psycho Trap. I swear
they said Tribe. I think might be. I think that is the Gigi Dolan one.
Weird. I swear they said Cemetery Drive because I made a note of it.
Changed it recently.
Maybe they botched it. Nothing wrong with this. It didn't feel like a really super important blow-off cage match. It was like a 12-minute non-violent cage match, basically. Like, fine, but I like their Vengeance Day match better.
Compare this to like when AEW does a cage match.
Right. And this doesn't add any finality that wasn't already there, I don't feel like. So
it's also like because the rest of Dame's faction is male, it's not like she it's like a thing where like you need to keep the interference out. They're not like, I'm not saying they're not interfering, but they're not like, it's not like if you're not like Solo in the Bloodline, it's like not, you know what I mean? It's not that quite, it doesn't serve that necessity either.
No, I didn't understand the need for this final match, especially when it wasn't anything special. I mean, it was good, but the Vengeance Day match was better, I think. Anyways, after the match, Paxley is walking up the ramp with her title,
like this.
And a trap door opens in the ramp, and Blake Monroe pulls her to hell, I would assume. And we see Blake Monroe pop up, so that's the next program. Seems to make sense. Like, Paxley's super over as a babyface.
Monroe is supposed to be champion.
Monroe's doing heel stuff and is supposed to be the champion, so we'll see. Could be a decent match with a clear dynamic. So kind of a little one of those. I liked it because it was a callback to old NXT where I had to watch to the last second because they would do some important stuff after the
turn, right?
After the logo would come up, there would still be stuff happening. So this was kind of similar to that, which I kind of like for nostalgia's sake. But a pretty solid show overall, I guess. Nothing super outstanding, but it kind of went by pretty quickly. It's like, honestly, they're an hour and 15 minutes. And if I 1.5 speed people's entrances and stuff, it's like barely an hour of a show. So it's a pretty easy watch, honestly.
It's so weird how the Netflix style works.
It's so short now. Which makes me laugh too, because Russo's show now, JCW, which I'm still keeping up with, and actually Ghost Jam commented say he watches it too, I'm pretty sure. Vince Russo is like on the record saying that 2 hours is too long for a wrestling show. Well, guess whose wrestling show is now consistently 2 hours every week? Started out like an hour and a half. Now we're pushing 2 hours every week. So,
well, it's because they're on YouTube, right? So they have no restraint to like.
And the exception is when his brilliant mind writes 2 hours, then it's good, right? Because he's a genius.
Obviously,
right.
There's exceptions to every rule, and he is that.
He is that. But I think that's going to wrap up this episode. Unless you have anything you'd like to add.
I don't think so.
All right. So that brings us to the end of episode 296, everybody. Appreciate you taking time out of your week to listen to us ramble about some professional wrestling. If you didn't see Revolution, go check out the matches that we highly recommended. It was great. We will be back here next week to do episode 297. There's nothing, no special shows or anything ahead of that, right? Just
not for a bit, at least for AEW. Not ones that we care about.
Right, exactly. That's the way to say it. So we'll be back with the usual roundup next week. And until then, everybody, take care.